I'll be right back.
Perfect again.
I'll
Absolutely
be right
perfect.
back.
George is right in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's a very.
What are we talking about?
I don't want to say intent. I'm going to say I was going to recommend Adolescence, the Netflix show we were talking about,
I've lived
to you.
through it before, yeah.
I just
I live it every day.
just as a camera person,
This guy?
I think
At
you
Oh,
would.
with me too.
I think you'd really be impressed.
That was another
We were
thing
not
that I wanted to
adolescents
say
together.
about Heretic.
What's adolescence
Was-
count? What years?
I liked some of the camera work. I thought it was a
don't know
little much at
technically.
times, but then I was like, well, I think it's purposeful that it's some of these big moves are like a little jarring, but it's also helping you empathize with the girls that like they're in a world where, like they're in a space and like they don't understand, like trying to take it all in, but at the same time being like overwhelmed with taking it all in.
Well, here's the most important question for you. Now that you've seen it, are you getting the candle? You buying the candle?
I was thinking that when
Or
I
wait,
watched
what was
it.
the other
The
thing?
book.
You're gonna buy the book?
Did you buy the book?
Buy my book.
Buy the bread?
I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it right now
3, 2, 1.
for live.
Go Nintendo podcast, episode 967, the Cyclizar podcast. Mom Brain, please tell us about Cyclizar.
We got there. We got here.
We got there, we did it.
Somehow
Oh, I didn't send out the tweet.
I am.
Oh, we didn't.
No, we got
if
there.
we
We're
didn't
still
tweet
there.
about it,
We got
did we
somewhere.
even get here?
Somehow in my mind, when you handed me this, it made me think that I dreamed about Pokemon.
You probably did, as we all do.
Nightmared about
Uh,
Pokemon. more
Jiggly
like.
is Jigglypuff? No, Snorlax.
They're
Probably
bo-
dreaming about
there you go.
Snorlax. There we go.
Jigglypuff puts people to sleep. Snorlax sleeps all the time.
Oh.
Jigglypuff
remember.
sings.
Oh, it is
and
Jigglypuff.
puts them to
Yeah.
sleep.
I
Yes.
see Pikachu when I think about the dream. Like I'm like in my mind's eye, I'm like, it was something about Pikachu.
The big
and,
sleep.
and maybe
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Is he one of the new Pokemon? I've never heard of that one.
He's got a cold.
we'll get there
Pikachu.
eventually.
Get it?
Pokemon 967 Cyclizar. Apparently, Cyclizar has been allowing people to ride on its back.
Oh, it's a
since ancient
bicycle.
Times.
It looks like it has a wheel. Yes.
Yeah.
Sick.
Apparently, depictions of this have been found in 10,000-year-old murals. You
Mhm,
guys,
mhm.
I am not joking about
Heretic.
this.
Mm.
5 feet tall, 138 pounds, male and female, and the category is mount.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh man, that sounds.
Had to come late.
Maybe I don't mind Pokemon so much.
Abilities include
Well, great news because we're talking about them more later today.
abilities include shed skin,
Hopefully about the mount type.
wherein the Pokemon may cure its own status conditions by shedding its skin, much like Eustace does when he turns into a dragon. It's Voyage of the Dawn Treader, I think.
I can make up things too.
Is that Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe?
Yeah.
Lion, Witch, and
Yeah.
Isn't
Wardrobe?
Eustace the name of the old lady from Courage?
There's a dragon in that story?
Oh no, the guy Muriel and Eustace.
I don't remember.
Hmm.
You know, Courage the dog.
Yeah. Yeah, Eustace turns into a
Anything
dragon.
else to say there?
This is the end of the Pokemon section.
Thank you, Mom
But then he
Brain.
like peels like in the middle of the night when no one knows he's a dragon except for him because he's kind of a turd
A dragon.
up until he turns into
Bob
a
the
dragon.
Like a
Dragon.
were-dragon.
And so he when he's
I
a
don't know where.
human, he skirts all the work everybody's doing by like walking away by himself, and he stumbles upon a dragon as it's dying, and he falls asleep in its lair and wakes up as a dragon, but nobody knows he's a dragon because he can't communicate it to anybody. So eventually he does.
I don't want to hear the word dragon ever again.
And then he falls asleep, wakes up, ends up in I think like a well or something, and like washes off.
Yes, I am.
Are
Well,
you in a well?
Peels
waiting.
off his skin, and he
Yeah.
talks about like in great detail of how it like hurts, but also feels really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
well, I could get down with that, I guess.
S&M.
I'm more wizard, less lizard in my fantasy, personally, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh, gotcha. I think so.
Thanks, Mom Brain, for whatever the hell that was. I
Mhm.
appreciate it. Hello, Nicky Hill. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. I'm also glad Dew Michaels is here. Dew, how are you doing?
Uku.
Good to see you. Josh
You
Grobot.
too.
Is this thing on?
It's on, Josh. How you doing, buddy?
What did you like to
That's
know?
why I asked. Checking on all my friends. Thanks, Josh.
Hanging and
Hanging and banging, baby.
Oh, a
I'm
little to
feeling
the
so
left.
great. Thanks for
There
asking.
we go.
Why don't you ask George?
George is here. George, how are you doing?
But George, no.
What do you, how's life? How's
Oh.
everything treating you?
Oh, it's great. Yesterday was Pie Day. I bet you can guess what I had.
Oh, I'm gonna guess, and I bet I'm wrong. Key lime pie?
No, I had a hamburger. Of course, I had a key lime pie.
Man, did you make it or did you get it from somewhere?
I don't bake.
Okay.
Can't bake when I'm juggling limes.
Ah, I got you.
Two-part question for you, George. The new is it 7-Up medley or
Not medley, but it's just 7
tropical
Up.
7-Up?
Ain't no lime
Did
in
you
that.
try the tropical 7-Up? And when you did you filter out the peach, mango, and lemon flavors?
Oh my gosh, I can go get some for you right now, George. I'll go get you
No,
some.
no, I've had some.
He's had some. He's had some.
I don't like mixing my citrus. I just like lime.
Straight
I'm
up lime.
Mixing my
not a fan
citrus.
of 7-Up.
Oh, so not
Uh,
even any lemon in there?
The only time I like 7-Up is when I'm juggling 7 limes. I say 7-Up.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot of interesting things to learn every
We're
week about
learning a
George.
lot.
And
about
Sprite.
George.
Sprite. I may have talked about Sprite in the past, but I'm a purist. Pure limes.
Okay.
All the time.
Nothing wrong with that. What's
Buddy,
going? He said he didn't want one.
in case you get thirsty.
There you go. There you go, George. Just put it in his mouth for him. There you go.
Very nice.
Oh,
Ooh,
right
there's
up
a-
the nose, George.
oh.
There you go.
You know what? Screw these limes. I like all citrus.
Joe
Bring it
Shabadoo
on.
says, "Has Josh ever hanged and not banged?" Josh, I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say.
Some things should remain a mystery.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
yeah.
Not what I was expecting,
It's
but okay.
personal.
Hello, Zikamuto and SD and Joe Shabadoo and Drake and Atomic Toaster and Radical Defect and Tater Tot and Roth and Nico Daruni and Backseat Studios and William and RLM and Ice Dilbert and Giant Reggie and Malik Halo and Sneaker Hacks and Gecko Kitsune and everybody else I didn't see. I will try and catch you. What's going on here? Malik Halo. Oh, Malik Halo says pod day, but I might have to leave in the middle to avoid getting blown away by a tornado.
Oh,
Edit. Storm should be getting here later, but the wind will probably end up knocking a tree on a power line. Well, we hope you remain safe and sound, and the same goes for all those who are in the troublesome area, and protect your family and friends. And the show will be here afterwards, so please don't stay in the middle of a storm just to listen to this stupid crap. But
That's scary. Yeah. Stay safe. And
Um,
is that a new thing? Tornadoes in March? That seems early. But,
they show up whenever they want.
I hope everyone stays safe.
Okay, this is one of those weeks.
What did you have for Pie Day?
What did I have yesterday? I had a lot of snicky snacks.
You watched Heretic.
I watched Heretic, which has pie in it.
Yeah.
So I guess technically I didn't watch it on Pie Day because it was 1 a.m. But
Oh, I
Come
watched it on Pie Day. Anyway, it wasn't intentional.
I had we went to Costco, so I was living the dream.
Vida loca.
We got those Greek cookies. We got we were all over the place. We were at the so you know where Costco is that we went to. I won't
Yeah.
say. We went to the ShopRite that's out there.
All right.
I've never been in that ShopRite. And I've lived here
That's like
forever.
old. That's like an OG shop, right?
It
That's like
was very interesting
Right.
inside.
you probably saw your old ShopRite shop pal. What was his name?
Scrunchy?
Scrunchy?
Yeah, he's probably still there.
No, what did we see? The ShopRite Wellness Room?
Yeah, it was like a severance moment. It just
It
says
said, like,
wellness room.
For
ShopRite
kids?
Wellness Room. We didn't.
No.
I looked inside and all the lights were
Where
off.
was
I
that?
could not see what it was.
Oh no, that's the other one. There's like a kids center in the one shop.
The one
There used to be one-
closer
the
here.
one here, but
Doesn't
they,
have that anymore.
No, they got
Oh
rid of it
really?
Where did the kids go?
with their
Am I
parents.
crazy? I don't want to.
To
I
the
don't
cereal
have kids.
aisle.
I'll
I
never.
don't think they do Scrunchy's Playhouse.
I'll never
anymore.
have kids.
Is
I
that
don't
what it
want
was?
kids.
That was Scrunchy's Playhouse.
Scrunchy's Playhouse, baby.
I shouldn't comment on kids, but when we were kids, like if you went to the supermarket, you sat in the cart with your, I'm talking about very young. You sat in the
No.
cart with your parent, right?
Yeah, or you'd walk along and
Mhm.
keep your mouth shut and mind your business.
Now, my mother was very smart. I was allowed to have one bagel, any flavor I wanted,
At the start.
once we got to that section, which is usually in the beginning. and it would keep me busy for
Right.
pretty much the whole time.
I guess my mom was trying to be smart because I got to have the box of animal crackers with
With the string.
Yep,
Mm.
that's the one. Used to get that every time I went, but it wouldn't shut me up because there's the infamous story of me
Because there's no shutting you up.
seeing the woman and saying she was from The Price is Right. So you guys know that
Well,
story,
what
right?
You knew somebody from The Price is Right?
You didn't just say that.
We were in the supermarket. I was very young, still a
so
Price is Right
precious.
fan. I was sitting in the cart, legs through little holes, hanging out, eating my animal crackers, and we were walking down one of the aisles, and there was some blonde lady walking by, and I was like, "Mom, it's a Barker's Beauty," because she looked like one of the
Come
Barker's Beauties.
on.
And the woman
How precious is that?
it took it very nicely because you're a
And
Barker's
then-
Beauty.
And then your dad was like, "Kid, come with me."
And
My
did-
mother has a similar beautiful story about me. I saw a container of Tang and spent a lot of time hanging out with my very young uncle. And I said, "Mom, Tang? Like Tang?"
You can say it.
Well, I think as a kid I said Poo Tang.
Poontang, yeah.
Hmm.
Pootie Tang.
Booty tang, yeah.
Yep. And my mom was like, "Well, we won't be seeing Uncle Jimmy for a little while."
I don't like
Oh,
that
Uncle
you
Jimmy,
group our
why?
stories together because mine is totally appropriate.
Did that woman then also like present you with like a
Yeah,
bottle
the
of
music-
Tide and
the
say how
music-
much?
The music came
I
on,
think
and
your
yep.
mom said she was kind of like not sure how to take it, and your mom was like, "He's a big fan of The Price is Right."
But anyway,
You've never said that about me.
The only thing I could think of is she didn't know what Barker's Beauty meant because, like, it's pretty
Could've
high
been-
praise.
Could have been calling her a dog.
Right?
Or
How dare you.
maybe, nah, I won't. I won't even say.
no,
she
now I
was.
want to say
It's
Or
might
I
be
wanna hear it.
inappropriate. Maybe she was thinking that. Maybe she was thinking that, like Bob Barker, you wanted her to lose a few pounds.
Oh, that's
And then
it.
that made
could've
her
been it,
upset.
I don't know that she thought that about like a 6-year-old at the time, but who knows? Who knows?
Or maybe she thought you were coming on to her and was like, "Gross! This 6-year-old really has a thing for me."
Or maybe she just took
Not
it
gonna lie,
nicely
I'm
and
sweating
everything
a
was
little
fine,
bit.
and it was a wonderful story, and she still tells it to people. I guess we'll
Basically-
never know.
Basically, you had Riz even back then.
Do you,
That was it.
Ice Stillbird has this gif of
You
a
used
kid
it all
hanging
up with that one.
hanging off the back of a
Rizzler.
a cart here. Twice I've seen kids underneath on that shelf underneath of a cart while they're being pushed around. One time, like a jacket was very
I mean-
like the hood was very close to a wheel.
Mm.
Another one, like the hair, and I don't.
I always
I-
wanted to be down there, but I wasn't allowed because my
Well, what
parents were
I'm-
normal.
Yeah, it's
Like,
not-
My thing
wouldn't
is
let you
like-
do that stuff.
I don't want to tell a person how to be like a parent or whatever. Like that's their kid.
you
and
do.
I hope that they're paying attention enough to know that their kid's head is like inches away from getting like, scalped by this wheel on a shopping cart.
I mean, sure, I
Look,
guess
any
at a freak
situation where a
accident.
neck and a head are dangling is not okay. Like necks and heads should not
Right.
dangle.
Uh,
off of anything.
Well, they
William-
weren't like the head. They were still, but the hair was right by the wheel, and like
Either
we've seen those wheels all gunked
Bicycles
up
have
with
been known to kill
you know,
people.
all gunked up with like threads and strings and
No.
stuff. So hair
like
could
it.
get,
William says, by the time I was 10, my mom would just leave me and my brother at either the magazine so we could read tips and tricks or to be at the little arcade room the store had. And Radical Defect says, I was too busy playing my Game Boy to pay attention to beautiful women. That's good. Mom, Brain, and I saw something amazing at Costco a few weeks ago.
We did.
There were, I would imagine it was the mom and dad who were pushing their kid through the store, but it's Costco doesn't have carts.
Well, they do.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They didn't have a cart though. They had what are you talking about? One of them
Dolly.
big dollies that Costco has, and they let their kid like sit on that,
Like a
So the-
flatbed dolly
Yeah,
kinda
so it
thing?
was like amazing. They had like a pillow, and they were like playing something, and I was like, this is the coolest
Living
thing
it
I've ever
up.
seen. Yeah, it was great. It was.
And I was like, don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
there's a Lidl by me. If anyone doesn't
A Lidl
know,
what?
Lidl.
little bit of
Hey,
a-
well, I think it's called Lidl because they have Lidl shopping carts too. They have
Oh,
them
they
for
do.
kids.
For kids, yeah.
Oh,
They have so
Capitals and
like
baby, they usually say like shopper in training.
yeah, so they have like a small
Good.
little shopping cart that has like a big pole that comes up with a flag, and the pole has a handle that's kind of at like adult size.
I got a big
adult height.
pole. No flag though.
But But where I go, like sometimes there's no. I don't understand how it happens. There's no shopping carts in the parking lot. There's no shopping carts in the lineup
Cart
of,
narcs.
of though somebody's stealing them. And so I went there one day. There's no shopping carts, and I just there was one that I grabbed that I saw, and then as I was shopping around, I saw a guy at the checkout with one of those tiny
God,
ones,
that's so good.
like heaping, like totally full. He did his full shopping, with that little cart, and I was just like, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do,
what
buddy.
you gotta do.
Did you get pink eye from the cart that you found?
No, is that what's happening?
Oh,
I don't know. I
probably.
thought they would have gotten. Maybe that's why that one was
fouled.
still there, because that
Yeah.
one didn't have
Oh,
pink eye.
Exactly. So yeah, like I said, there's some stuff I actually wanted to talk about before we get into the regular stuff. I haven't had anything to talk about the last couple of weeks, but now I do. Two things. One of them is site related, and well, I guess both of them are site related. So I got this email, and it says tips for upcoming review, and I was like, all right, I'll read what this is. And it says, greetings, big fan of the portal. I am sharing some heads up for reviewers with the upcoming release of Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. Hope you don't mind. Then this thing goes on. This is an email that is over 1,000 words long, telling me how to review Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. And then I come to find out, I don't know who this person is, but they have sent it to every possible outlet that could put. It's the wrong time if that's what you're looking at.
Yeah,
Every possible outlet,
but
that they could potentially.
Sorry, I have to.
Yeah. Nicky Hill's looking at my watch and it has
But
the
your
wrong
watch,
time on
but
it.
your watch is set to. It just was 12:34, which is a big number for me. I see it a lot, and for that to be the wrong time, and also be the number that I see a lot.
You sound like that guy from the rehearsal, the guy obsessed with numbers.
I got another story related.
That guy
to
drives.
this.
He doesn't even have a license plate, right, or something.
There's something about his crashed car that he brings up like
We
10 times.
we know a couple people who are very obsessed with numbers.
Sorry, I know I'm 2 years late on that show, but I just finally watched it and I liked it.
Just watched Heat. So anyway, this guy sends a 1,000-word email telling me how to review Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. But then I came to find out he sent this same exact email to every possible outlet he can think of to make sure they know how he believes the game should be reviewed.
Is this not somebody that works for the company? He's just a super fan.
Yeah, Superfan is a polite way of putting it. Yes, this is not anyone related to Nintendo or Monolith Soft in any way, shape, or form.
So have you reached out to anybody at Nintendo to be like, hey, just
No, he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, but people might not know that he's not affiliated with them.
If you're running a website and you think this is someone affiliated with Nintendo and you share that information, you're an idiot. Like you should. I don't know, but anyway,
Heard it here first, people.
I only found out because somebody else, someone who writes for various sites, went on social media and was like, "Did anybody else get this email about Xenoblade?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I got this email!" And then I found out all these different outlets got it. So this guy, I don't know, is terrified that the game is not going to be reviewed how he sees as the right way to review it.
Does
and
he have a
I was
website?
like, man, in all these years, what?
Does he have his own website? Because maybe it's time.
No, I do have their name, but I'm not going to share that.
It's Stu Michaels, isn't it?
So I can't write 1,000 words.
You also-
no spiders and no flies.
I don't know
Especially
which
not
one
about
is
Xenoblade.
is harder to believe, that dude would write 1,000 words or that dude would care about Xenoblade. I
I
don't
was
know
gonna
which one.
say,
to
he
go
doesn't
with.
care
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good point.
You were going to say.
But but isn't Xenoblade like this? Isn't the first and only Xenoblade game, right? Like it's a
that's another fantastic point, because this is Xenoblade Chronicles X, which released on the Wii U. So this is an updated version, definitive edition.
What are they? And they're not telling you to give it a good review. They're telling you how you should review it, like break it down and review it. I'm
He's had
guessing
a few years to think about this.
I mean,
I've been
I don't
stewing
know.
on this because of the way the original was probably reviewed or something.
But like, what are they getting out of it? Another like a sequel down the line or something? They're going to make sequels anyway, right?
say-
Each Xenoblade game does better than the last, so that's not a worry about any of that.
Or do you think it's like there's specific gameplay elements they love and they're like highlight these in your review, and then when they make a new one, like I'm trying to think. I'm probably overthinking
the
this.
review. You sound a lot like this guy, actually. The review breaks down piece by piece, like I don't want to read the whole thing, but
This
he's
is
like,
not their review. This is
he's like, this is not a spin-off. And then he's like, these are the options you should use in the settings. This is how you should talk about the graphics. This is how it should be compared to other games. This is how it relates to story in terms of this game versus Zelda. This is how the NPCs speak. This is how the chapters go in the game. Like this is how online aspects work. This is
So-
how it's very different from other Xenoblade games. Like
He's
it's
doing you a favor. You don't have to play the game anymore.
I played it on Wii U because I'm a
Oh.
real fan. But yes, I know what I do know is this Xenoblade is very, very, very highly regarded amongst fans, and they were very upset that it was on the Wii U and not a lot of people played it because it was on the Wii U, and many thought it was going to be trapped there forever, not giving a greater audience a chance to play the game. So they're very happy it is coming out.
1,000 words. Is it well written?
Grammatically,
Is it 1,000 words of stream of conscious
No,
stuff?
it's
Did they
written.
take time to edit it,
Yes.
revise it?
Yes.
Really, like,
And you read the whole thing.
Yeah, because I was like, if I'm being honest, I was like, this is crazy.
I say,
Yes, it's very well written, but the contents of it and the way that it is written show you that this I would be nervous of this person.
You don't want to be in a room with this person.
Yes. It's like probably how most people hear or feel when they're talking to me about things.
but I also like. I celebrate this person because they're so passionate about something. I don't have anything that I'm passionate about to that point.
Listen, I
Maybe
love the
you
passion.
should read the email.
Yeah,
And then,
I
and then
was
decide.
gonna say I love passionate people, and I love when people share their passions. It's literally my favorite thing. But this
I mean,
goes over that line by
if
a
this
few
person
steps.
is listening, I hope you can.
They know I'm.
I
out
hope
there.
you can. Like, I haven't read it, so I'm not judging your writing or anything. I hope there's a way that you can harness that passion towards something that works for you. You know,
They
like
did,
turn it
this
into
email.
no, like turn it into maybe you have a future in this somehow. You know, where you can be passionate and also financially benefit. You know, like advance your
The thoughts of Nicky Hill are not the thoughts of GoNintendo.
Is
Yes,
that
I
bad?
believe
Is
you
that bad thinking? No, I
well,
like, I
when
support,
you haven't read
know.
the email and you make these statements, I think if you read the email, you might feel a little differently.
I
just
just think
putting it out
if
there.
you've got passion, harness it. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yes, not specifically about this person. You're saying in general, if you have passion, harness it. Because I
Yeah.
agree with that 100%. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Look at me. That's how GoNintendo started.
I wish there was a way that I can harness. I'm not even
I sent a
passionate about some
manifesto
things.
to 50 different sites.
Well, that's the other thing. There's no threats. There's no like risk in this.
You
to people.
haven't read the email, Nicky Hill.
Well, are
Jeez.
there threats?
I'm not going to get into specifics, but I will say the email, in the way it's
Is it
worded, in
hostile?
some ways, is hostile.
Oh,
Certainly,
okay.
yes.
Well, then let's
Yes.
be cautious with harnessing that passion. Then I suppose. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I tried to stop you a couple minutes ago.
Well, you could've also
Yeah,
given
there's
me the
no
whole
like
story.
I'm gonna kill.
Regardless of the fact that I interrupted you
No,
while
no.
trying to tell.
You didn't.
No.
I didn't
Did you read
think
it?
that it went to a threatening. By hearing you talk about it, I didn't think that
It
was
doesn't go
threatening.
to a threatening as in like I'm going to kill you or anything like that.
Well,
But
that's
it's
fine.
like this is how you better review this, and you better do it justice because blah 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 blah.
Was there anything that says or else ...
I'd have to read the email again. Nothing comes to mind from memory.
Did they have any thoughts on Shadow the Hedgehog?
The hedgehog.
The hedgehog.
No comments on Shadow at all.
That's
And
had a
man,
girlfriend that we called that. Oh,
he would have sent you a death threat if it was a Sonic fan and you call him Shadow the Hedgehog. That would have been terrible. But yes, I've never experienced anything like that ever.
How
where
does
somebody
this
sent the same
person-
email to so many outlets?
Is there anything in this about how this person feels about the lights being on when they're in a theater waiting for an event?
The lights. I could not, if I wanted to, on my best day, scream anywhere near like that man screamed. Never ever.
There was
If
passion.
I could go back in my life and clip sound
Yeah.
clips, that's one that I want. I
If
want to
we
hear
were-
that again. I can hear it
if we
perfectly
were-
in my head.
If that happened now, it would be
you'd be
yeah,
able
it-
to find a recording of it,
Oh, yeah.
probably.
No,
Turn
well,
off the lights, you effing moron.
you'd go viral with that clip,
Mhm.
and like you could retire on that, whatever. You know what I mean? Like there'd be T-shirts, there'd be like merch.
Unless you sold at the Barstool Sports, then you get what, $1,000, and they show you the door.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's that. There is something else I want to talk about. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, is this the somebody posted in here?
Is this the somebody
Somebody
posted
posted
in
this.
here?
Oh, that's I guess what you were saying. a journalist asked, did somebody
That
get this?
is the person that I first heard from. Yes.
Yeah.
Or that's where. Oh, they post. Yeah, I don't like that they posted part of the email. I don't think that's
Tentavision.
appropriate, but-
Tentavision said 1,000 words. Why not just post one picture?
Yeah, there you go. Listen. I don't even want to get into this. I would not post a screen capture of the email. That's I'm not saying what Imran did is wrong.
Well, but here's the
Not
the other part of it. If you're going to talk about it, then I do see the point in doing the person justice that people could like make their own decision about the tone, right? Like to be like, I don't know, it was kind of threatening, but then not give people the opportunity to read it themselves.
Well,
and you're like,
they didn't say any of that though.
But right now,
Again, you're making
I just
comments
said
about things that weren't said.
I had comments that weren't even like attacking the person, and I'm told you haven't read the so like yes, like
like that's my right. Like, and you did. I mean, when you were asked, was it threatening? You were like, yes.
Well, yeah, but then I started to say more, and then the conversation went somewhere else. I said it wasn't threatening in a sense like I'm going to hurt you or kill you, but it was, the whole email has a tone of like, get this right, or.
But do you I mean,
pay the price.
Like, do you see where it could be like, well, then give people the opportunity to like.
Yeah, that's fine, except I'm only talking about it because it's out there now. Like I would have never publicly talked about it, but with all this stuff out there and all the screens and everything, apparently I've been talking about it. But like I said, just something I've never experienced.
I hope that person has a support.
I would say if they are writing an email like this, they do not. Yes.
Well, but hopefully they do.
I hope I'm wrong.
And hopefully,
I hope
or
I'm
maybe
wrong.
this email helps them find
Maybe this email finds them well.
Yeah. Maybe this email like helps them find their people, their support.
I have to give credit where credit's due and say you see something in the world,
but it's not going to, because unless somebody shares who it is and their contact information, then it's just like dunking on them for points.
Or the person comes forward and says it was me and I'm being misunderstood, or that person is me and y'all better do this. Or
but again, it's the internet. Plenty of people could say this is me and it's not them. How do you know? What's your proof? I don't know. I don't know. But moving on to another interaction with GoNintendo, I will not get into specifics about this, but I am 1 bazillion %. That's right, Nicky. 1 bazillion % going to talk about this because it made me furious.
How many zeros is that?
I mean, just 100%, I think, is
enough.
101.
That's everything.
So I was not covering the site. Someone else was covering the site, and they had posted. They put together a post. And they had a couple typos in it for they'd accidentally used the incorrect ITS, ITS versus IT apostrophe S.
Xenoblade Chronicles wasn't good.
Whatever, not a big deal. I do not care. Go in and fix it. I'll let you know if I see it. It's not a problem for me. Well, I'm not saying specifics, so I'm sorry you're not going to get it because I'm not looking for a fight, but it's made me so angry. I got to talk about it. Someone on social media replied to the post that this person did with like, it was like a wiki page or an article about like when to use its and its, just like a very passive aggressive thing. And I'm like, you're such a piece of garbage. Like, if there are typos with the article and you want to say something, that's fine. Leave a comment on the article. Leave a comment on social media and say, hey, there's some typos in here, just letting you know. So reach out to the tips email. Like, there's so many different ways to do it. But no, it always has to be for internet points. So he puts a link to that reference guide and nothing else. And I'm like, if it's me, whatever. I would be upset about it, but I wouldn't be angry about it. But the fact that it was somebody else on staff, I'm like, now I got to talk to them. And I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, you got to fix the typos. I'm just letting you know there's stuff going on social media. I said, I am not upset. I'm not mad and nothing's wrong on my end. I'm just letting you know because I'm sure it will get back to you at some point. So I just wanted to apologize. And I was just so angered by it that like it ruined the rest of my night. Like I was going to play games. So I was like, I was so tempted to message this person because it wasn't just like a random internet person. It was like, all I'll say is it was someone. It wasn't
Miyamoto, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I don't want to say specifics, but it was not just a random internet person. And I was like, this is so, like,
someone
you're
know
better than
personally,
this.
or-
I'm not going to get into specifics. Later I'll tell you all of it. But
Probably Elon Musk.
We don't speak that name.
I
Milan us.
There we go.
Milan is
Milan like a
Yeah.
Milan want a bro oat.
Me Milan wanna bro ouch.
But anyway, yeah, it made me so angry, and I was just like, obviously it's the straw that broke the camel's back and all that, but I'm just like, where is the compassion? Can't you? I understand you want typos fixed or you're upset about it. You being that camel.
Yeah, the straw is very heavy.
I'm like, if there's issues, you could let the person know. You could let me know. You could leave a comment. There's so many ways to do this and help someone or better the situation rather than just dunking on them or being passive aggressive. Like, why? Why are you doing it?
You know what we say to people like that?
Not today.
Spoiler alert, but can I say it? Devour
feculence.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, I just, it was so disheartening. I'm like, that adults, I know for a fact this person is an adult, at least in terms of numbers.
Chronological.
It's just so disappointing to me. And I'm like, I cannot believe that an adult would do something like this. A stupid kid, stupid teen. Well, yeah, I can believe it. Yes. But I'm like, whatever, that, kids and teens, whatever. We all did.
Don't worry. They're not catching those kinds of mistakes.
We all did stuff we regret back then. But like, to be like an
it's
adult,
a man too,
I'm
probably,
like,
right?
I'm not getting into specifics. But it was just so frustrating to me. And I can't get over it. So I just wanted to share with you guys.
I'm sorry for messaging you when I see things. I just like to laugh at you.
You keep telling. Hi, Marsboro. Hi, Blood Ocean. It was not due. No. Hello, Tint Division. I keep telling you, I appreciate when you do. And we know each other personally in real life. You can joke all day long. That's totally fine with me. I do not get upset in the least.
It's not like a public,
yeah.
And
even
everybody,
if
look at this.
Even if it was, I wouldn't care because I know you personally. I know you would be joking around. I know you would never do that just to be an asshole. With this person,
by the way, I've enrolled you in a 3rd grade English class too, just so you can freshen up on your grammar.
You should get on social media. You'd be a big hit. Yeah, just putting it out there because it's frustrating me so much, and I'm like, I'm really preaching to the choir here. I don't need to say this stuff to you guys, but if any situation, not specifically this one, but something like that comes up, show a little sympathy or empathy, or just let the moment go by. You don't need to be that person that's like, I'm going to dunk on this person on the internet for fake points that nobody's tallying but me. Like, it's just so disappointing.
Well, whoever did it, I hope it made you feel real good inside.
I always love when somebody corrects somebody like that publicly on a forum and they correct it incorrectly.
Yeah, that's pretty satisfying.
There's nothing more prominent on the internet than somebody wanting to correct someone and getting it completely wrong when they do. So but again, like I said, preaching to the choir, everybody at the table and everybody listening, I know you're good people, so you're good. All right, let's do clickbait. Not many clickbaits this week, which is a great thing to hear. Oh, poop.
What is clickbait?
Oh, masturbators. So sorry.
Oh, now I'm listening.
Baiter's gonna bait.
Once Nintendo does this Nintendo Direct in a couple of weeks, or what, 18 days away, 19 days away, then we will see all kinds of clickbait about that, I guarantee.
Oh my God, we are.
It's close.
We are getting there.
Paul Gale,
we've almost got there.
Longtime GoNintendo fan and Nintendo Superfan Paul Gale, every day since they announced the Direct has been saying, has been putting out a video and a post being like, 58 days. And I was like, Paul, stop. I can't do, I'm like, it's going to take forever to get here. And I was oh, we're at 18 days.
Listen up. Anybody at Nintendo, I don't care how far along your Direct is. Is it live? Is it going to be live or it's pre-recorded, right?
Not be live, no.
I don't care how far along it is with recording and editing or whatever. Somebody put in the beginning of that we got there.
I don't think that's going to happen.
All right.
The people who used to do that stuff are no longer with Nintendo that I know. I don't know who's doing it now.
Dark Gary?
Maybe it is Dark Gary. You keep invoking his name, so I think he's going to come back.
That the Direct goes off without a hitch.
You're giving him power.
He does have reason to make this into like a pretty exciting action movie where he's the bad guy.
Okay. All right, masturbators. Only 2 of them. Nintendo Switch 2 report reveals possible Joy-Con drift fix. Nintendo Switch 2 report reveals possible Joy-Con drift fix.
You send it back to Nintendo and they'll fix it.
Mhm.
Or the fix is it's not the
There-
Switch controller anymore. It's the Switch 2 controller, so they're
Oh,
not going to have
that's
to worry
clickbait,
about
that's
it.
clickbait.
Yeah, it's using it. It's allegedly using a different kind of control. It's using Hall
Effect.
Hall effect, Hollow Knight effect. Also, I mean, we could also just maybe say it's Joy-Con Switch 2 Joy-Con drift now, not just Switch.
Possible fixes. They're changing the name, so
Or they not doing it no more.
so here's what it is. Now this is related to an interesting story that happened this week. We found out iFixit, as in the website iFixit, did a teardown of Nintendo's Alarmo, which is their alarm clock. And we found out that the dial on the top of the Alarmo uses Hall effect sensors. So that's pretty cool because you're like, oh, Nintendo is working with Hall effect sensors. Now, this article, I almost
So
said
that's
the
why
outlet.
that thing's $100.
I almost said, yeah, right. I almost said the outlet's name by accident. But this article has taken that fact and they've gone and said Nintendo Switch 2 report reveals possible Joy-Con drift fix. There's no Nintendo Switch 2 report. This is about the Alarmo. Their article is about maybe this means that Nintendo will use the Hall effect on the Joy-Con for Switch 2. And sure, that could be speculated in the article because you're like, Nintendo's using Hall effect on Alarmo, so they have experience with it. And if they're doing it for Alarmo, maybe they will use it for Switch 2.
But
That could be the case, but then you don't make this title.
Switch 2 report, as if something this is coming from
Nintendo Switch 2 report reveals possible Joy-Con drift fix.
Yeah, so
There's
the
no report.
headline is like, this is direct from
Yeah.
Nintendo, but it's not. It's
Well, a lot of outlets will use report when they mean rumor. They do that a lot. Report, it'll be like a report, and then it's like so-and-so on Reddit, Ass Sniffer 69 on Reddit said, go see if that name's taken somebody. But yes, so
The Ass Sniffer 420 is
there
available.
was a story that was interesting, and they just turned it into clickbait.
Is there anything about like integrity anymore in news or
In here?
journalism? Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Aaron Parnas, baby.
there's certainly
Is Aaron Parnas the character that
a baby's
Tumnus.
Parnas.
Coogan plays? What's his name?
Steve Coogan?
Steve Coogan plays. Isn't that?
Oh, Alan Parsons.
Oh,
is it Alan
so
Parsons or is that
something-
the project?
Parsons Project.
I don't know. Well,
I don't know what
we
you're
are
talking
going
about.
over.
No, you are. I don't know what you're talking about. The other clickbait.
Alan Partridge.
Alan Partridge. Oh, so that's not Aaron Parnas. What's his name? Okay. I don't know.
The Legend of Zelda fans get bad news ahead of Switch 2. The Legend of Zelda fans get bad news ahead of Switch 2.
Well, the bad news is they haven't announced any games yet. So we don't know if Zelda's coming day one.
That's a great clickbait. You start in these last few weeks.
I
You
gotta
start
start thinking like
doing it.
these geniuses.
I mean, the biggest thing that we can think is like anytime there's a headline, our number one thing is nothing's been said. We're just right, like
That's what right off
basically
the bat.
because like a couple of years ago, that one article, or maybe it was last year, like where the article was like blah 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 blah, and then the very last paragraph flat out said like none of this is real.
I don't remember what that was about, but I remember that.
Like the headline was like big news on this, and then like the bottom was like nothing's been announced yet. The
Yeah.
big news is that nothing's been announced yet. But yeah, that's like
Creative writing project.
Yes. Well, Brain, you have any suggestions here?
The bad
Hey, we got to talk into
news-
this thing.
The bad news is that the Zelda games aren't backwards compatible.
So you can't play Switch 2
S-
Zelda
say
games
it.
on Switch.
say it one more time now. Can I just see the
The Legend of Zelda fans get bad news ahead of Switch 2. Then the byline says, not the news Zelda fans wanted to hear. Double clickbait.
Wait,
Is there
it's
s- is-
about another game. It's like people thought Zelda was
Yeah, right.
going to be
Oh, yeah.
announced, but it was actually about something else.
right?
Bad news.
Um,
They talked about another game.
Has there been any news outside? Well, has anything happened with like the Zelda is it a movie or TV series that like got pushed back or something?
No.
I feel like it's something to do with the director of the movie that they were talking
The
about.
clickbait
Overhaul.
is some guy who posts rumors says they haven't heard anything about the Wind Waker HD coming to Switch 2. That's it.
Anyways.
There you go. And we wrote.
When was that released? Was that
1,
released
2,
for the
3, 4,
Switch?
5, 6, 7.
That was Wii U.
8. Yeah, that's why
Right.
people
That's
want
why it
it.
was a while ago. Yeah.
It was on the Wii U, yes, and people are like, "Where's Wind Waker HD?" It's on the Wii U.
There was that one person that was like, right 90% of the time.
Fioro?
I don't remember if it was him, but they were like, there was that one time where they were like, those 2 Zelda remasters are coming to the Switch, and then like, I'm sure of it, and then they never came.
I think that was Piora. That was the rumor that did
just the fact that person was so confident makes you think that like it's coming in for the Switch 2 eventually, but I don't know.
I don't
We
think
don't
it was
know.
Pioro. I think it was Grub.
Oh, that's right. I think it was Grub.
Wait, Grub is a
Pioro doesn't
And that's
usually
why we
say.
Grub
haven't
is a
heard Grub's name.
rumorist?
No, Mo.
Oh yeah, they definitely know people and they've gotten
Oh my
inside information. But Pioro never flat out said things on social media. They would post like a row of 6 emoji, like a wave
I
and a
thought-
beach ball and then whatever.
I thought Grub, just because they've been so spot on, I guess I never really paid attention. I thought they were either an analyst or somebody in the business.
They
Like
they
official.
are in the business. They work for Giant Bomb right now, but they definitely know people and they definitely have connections and they've definitely gotten things correct, but they've also gotten things wrong. So some of their sources are incorrect or some of their sources are legit
Wrong.
but got fed incorrect information. So, but Grub has gotten more things right than wrong by far, but they have gotten things wrong. So
I have to continue to think more when it comes to
Grub.
the clickbait that 90% of these stories just come off of Reddit threads that are just people's ramblings. Like it has nothing to do with news or any
Mhm,
actual
mhm.
information. It's just somebody was like, "Hey, I had a dream about Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and blah blah blah."
I had
And so
that
like
same dream.
there's an article about tying it back to the Switch 2 off of somebody's dream or something completely unrelated. Like,
the Waker.
The
God.
way that gaming is going these days on a long enough timeline, you're going to see all your favorites remastered. So don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a little time. You'll be
Remastered,
playing it.
remade, re-released, remastered again, remade again. Yep, that's what we're getting. I wish I'd take a
Yeah, the
demake. Demake
demakes
is what I want.
is not happening
Take
as
a
much.
Resident Evil 4 and put it on the Super Nintendo. Give me that.
Man, that'd be cool.
Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1, as Billy says? Are you going to feed the cat?
I'm gonna go.
Okay. Here's what we talked about this week on Patreon. Number 1, I talked about puzzles in games and the type of puzzles you hate to see in a game. The kind of puzzle when you walk into the room in a game, you're like, oh no.
God.
For
Slide
me,
puzzle?
slide puzzle, 100%. Hate a slide puzzle.
I like
can
how
do
they
them,
start.
but I do them very poorly.
I like how it starts for me, and I'm like, "Oh, I got this," and then it just gets to a point where I'm just like, "Oh, it works!"
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, it's
I
terrible.
never intentionally
Yep.
solve one.
Hi, Fluff,
Yep.
another. Every Zelda game where there's a slide puzzle, I'm like, oh
It
no.
really is in the Zelda game a couple of times.
Resident Evil has had slide puzzles as well. It's a nightmare. Put numbers
Yep.
on it, put pictures on it, doesn't matter. I don't like a slide puzzle.
Wait,
at all.
which kind of slide puzzle actually?
The one you were saying,
where it's like
where you
a
have
bunch
like
of
a
pieces.
grid,
Grid
let's
of,
say
like,
a grid of
9, and you're
9,
like-
but it's 8 tiles and you slide them
okay,
around.
yeah, because then there's the other ones that are in Zelda games too, where it's the floor is open and like you have to slide the piece across, and it has to go in a certain order and like hit different obstacles so that like you can get it into the right place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of satisfying a little bit.
Do you have one you really dislike?
A puzzle?
Yeah, puzzle type.
No, I don't. I mean, I feel like the major. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that.
Do
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, I'm not a big fan. I don't like the slide puzzles either, but I'd like to come up with a different one just so I'm not piggybacking off.
Roth says Wind Waker had that slide puzzle. Yep, I remember that very
That was
well.
so annoying, especially in the Wind Waker. I don't know why that was so
Blood
annoying to
Ocean
me.
says Twilight Princess had slide puzzles.
I thought I remember it from Twilight Princess too. So yeah, that's probably
Twilight
true.
Princess, I remember, had the one that I was talking about where it was like ice and there was a giant stone that had to fit in a certain spot, and like you had to not like
You
I
had to
guess you like
slide
slam it or something,
That's right.
and you had to
Or,
slide
yeah.
it in the proper direction. I mean, there's whole games built off that, and I had downloaded a game on my phone a long time ago that was a slide puzzle of like 9 spaces with 8
See
squares.
that doesn't annoy me as much. That's a different type of slide. It's not really a slide puzzle. It's a
Like, if
puzzle
you're
with
going
sliding
into
in
it-
it, but it's not like a slide puzzle because
Right.
you're not putting together like a puzzle on like a picture
Yeah,
puzzle.
yeah.
You know that's just same with in Twilight Princess in the Forest. There's like one where when you move, 2 statues move, and you have to get them to like face a certain way in a
Yeah.
certain tile. And I didn't find that to be annoying
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Like those were kind of satisfying. Whereas you get like those slide puzzles, it's just like, oh god, like
Yep.
it's just kind of another form of like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yep. I was saying on Patreon, I had gotten one of those slide puzzles when I was a kid. Once when I went to the dentist, and if you're a good kid at the dentist, they let you pick a toy out of the toy box, but you had to go in blindly, and that's what I pulled out. And I was like, no, not this.
No.
And also for Halloween one year, one house was giving out slide puzzles, and I was like, this, why would you torture someone like this? So I wrote about that. I also wrote about Wander Stop, which is a game that was announced a few months ago, and I was uber excited about it. And you'll hear me talk about it more because I have been playing it, so I'll talk about it later today.
Which one? What? Monster?
Wander Stop
Oh, yes, that's
from the Stanley Parable guy.
Yes.
I'll talk about
Wander Stop.
it. Annapurna published. Yep.
published. But there were other people from like with other notable
The guy who
games.
does the soundtrack, C418, C148. I don't remember his name, from Minecraft. The Minecraft composer has done the music for this.
It's his only this. It's like a team of people. It's not just one person who made it.
I don't know the specifics. I believe it's a team of people. Yes.
Teams.
I mean, there's at least 2. I talked about game hardware and what gaming platforms you have now that are the same ones you had when you were a kid, as in like you actually held on to them all these years. Because I have some that are from when I was younger and other ones that I rebought because I traded stuff in years ago, and how, obviously I regret that now, but it is what it is. But I was looking for who had their original stuff, and it was a really interesting conversation because some
You
people
have my original stuff.
didn't have any of it, and some people had all of it. They had all their original stuff and never got rid of it. And there was someone in particular who had every box too for like everything. I was like, oh man, what a smart kid you are.
God, I just wish that's the type of kid I was. The TikTok came up the other day with somebody showing their collection, and they had, pristine NES boxes. And it's like stuff that you've like never even seen before. Like the box itself.
Yeah.
You don't even remember getting them. Like, I don't even remember the games coming in a box.
I remember them coming in a box because I would take them out of the box before I even got home. And that would just be thrown in a bag and in the garbage. Like I never even thought of it.
I hate myself for that. I really do. I know I was just a kid, but like, I really am kicking myself for all that.
There were some kids that were better than us because they look at Lube. Lube kept almost all of his boxes too.
So impressive. I just think that's wonderful.
I don't know. I didn't care. I wanted to play the game. Like I had the game. What do I need the box for? I'm never going to put it back in the box.
Yeah, why would you need
Never thinking forward. But like you said, and I agree, we were kids. We were just excited to play the games. But some kids thought ahead, or maybe some kids had parents that were like, you should hang on to those boxes. But probably not a lot of parents were like that. They were like, don't play those games. Get rid of video games. Speaking of boxes, I also talked about text boxes in games because I love a good text box because there's so much you can do with a text box in a game to enhance the game. It's more than just putting the text of the story there, because you can have different font for different characters. You can emphasize different words. You can make the letters bounce or squiggle. You can make them different colors like Nintendo does a lot at a time. You can have different borders and colors for the boxes themselves based on characters. You can do different font sizes and types based on everything that's going on.
You could get berated by a little flower. That's right, Undertale.
There's just so much about text boxes I love, and I love when they're used in a way that helps further a character's traits or tell a story in their own right. And it's not a lost art by any means, because plenty of games still do it. But, there was a time when it was more important because games weren't using voice speech or anything like that. But there's plenty of games that are text boxes now. Wander Stop is a text box game. There are portions that are fully voiced, but they're cutscenes. But when you're playing the regular game, everything is a text box, and they do a lovely job with sound effects and stuff like that. But just talked about text boxes because I love that topic, and I don't think it gets enough attention. I think there's a lot of art and artistic ability and personalization that goes into that. As a Final Fantasy VII player, you've often talked about how you've customized your text box in that game.
Yeah, every time I play, I change the colors of the text box because you can change them in all four corners of the text box, and it's like every single time it's unique. It's something different. Like you make it however you like. It's really cool. And
Which game is it?
Such a small thing.
Final Fantasy
VII. It's such a small thing, and it's one of those things that I didn't even know you could do until like years later, like my third time through the game. I was like, wait, I can mess with this stuff?
Not surprising for me. I didn't know you could do that until you told that story a few weeks ago.
Oh, that's
cool.
cool.
I had no clue.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it really enhanced the whole
Well, you're
experience for
big
me.
on personalization and customization in games, so that's just another way to do that stuff. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like it.
And that game is like 100% text boxes the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
time. So it's, I don't know, it was good.
I also wrote about 2B Hero X, an upcoming anime that I learned about because it just got a release date. I didn't know anything of it. As I said on Patreon, I'm trying to keep up with anime news in general. I'm more informed about anime now than I have ever been because I'm watching so much and I want to keep up to date on what's going on. I learned about 2B Hero X, which is a combination of a whole bunch of things I like, anime in general. But it is about superheroes, but in this world of superheroes, abilities are enhanced by how much faith humanity has in you. So, and it's tracked through a number system. So, like, depending on how much the people believe in you and support you, it enhances your abilities, and you go up and down in the ranks. And obviously, there are people who like villains and make them stronger too, because totally believable in today's world. So I love that idea, and I watched the trailer, a character trailer for one of them. It looks so cool. You guys know I'm a huge superhero fan, which is something I didn't even learn until like 5 years ago. I didn't know that part of my personality was there. But that and anime, and it looks really cool. Check out a trailer for 2B Hero X. And it's part of a franchise, which I didn't know, which was 2B Hero, 2B Heroine, and now 2B Hero X. This is its own thing. So, you were giggling. What's up?
I was giggling at Marsboro saying, "Do I have 2B?" Because you were talking about 2B, and then
I have 2B Hero?
I wanted to like look real quick and see if I could play the soundbite, but it was upside down.
Oh, Ross, yes, I see your slide puzzle. That's giving me trauma. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And then last thing I talked about was last night, and I asked the Pikmin Bloom players out there how they approach their community day, because as Deux knows, this today and tomorrow are community day in Pikmin Bloom. That means you got to walk 10,000 steps in one of those days. You cannot combine the days. You have to do 10K steps within 24 hours, either today or tomorrow. And I talked about how I do it, because I said I hate walking. And I hate the days where you have to walk extra even more. So as soon as I get the first opportunity, I rush downstairs and get on a treadmill and get it done instantly. So last night I was playing Fortnite with family. I came upstairs and did a little bit of work. Then I went downstairs and set everything up and did my walk. And I watched Heretic while I was on the treadmill, and the time flew by. It was the movie was over, and I had like 11,000 steps. So it was great.
Man, that's a oof. I don't know if I could go into a basement and watch that movie with like a basement behind me.
Yeah,
dark.
I've
Yeah,
talked about it before.
He never gets
nothing
scared,
gets to
baby.
you,
Nothing.
but
He can pee and poop separately,
I'd
and
be
nothing
looking over
scares
my
him.
shoulder. I'd be looking over my shoulder. Like
I do pride myself on peeing and pooping
you know,
separately.
like I know I have a good grasp of what's in my house, but
I even got a window right behind me. Somebody could be watching me the whole time. Yeah. So that, and I haven't read what you guys
They tap
answered
and
yet.
they're like, can you rewind just like 10, 15
All right.
seconds?
What did I say? Back that
Can
up
you,
a second.
can you put the subtitles up?
Yeah, so I haven't read what you guys said yet on Patreon, but I'm interested to see how you do your Pikmin Bloom days. Dude, have you done your Pikmin Bloom Community Day walk?
Yeah, I did it today. It wasn't fun.
Ooh, soggy day to do it.
I
Oh,
can,
sorry.
yeah, I kind of
Missed it.
you know, I like you want to get it done early, you know, because I'd hate to like think about like, oh, tomorrow I better do it, you know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get it done early, and even though it was going to be warm this weekend, I went early in the morning, and that's like kind of chilly. So I don't know if it's gonna hurt me later as far as getting sick or anything. But
They say
I
that
mean,
doesn't actually get people sick.
well, good.
But I don't.
then I'll be fine. But yeah, I did
Hopefully.
it. It wasn't fun. I can do it in about
man.
an hour and 50 minutes. That's about what
exactly how long Heretic was.
Okay, cool.
I'm sorry to message you about cheesesteaks after you took a long walk like that.
Well,
No,
to be
after the
honest,
walk, that's great. Yeah.
That's like when, you know, and I have the calories to burn.
Yeah.
But
if
we don't
I
have the
were
time
When
to do
there's
it.
no
It's
greater
like-
feeling than after
I'm
that
texting
walk.
you, and then I'm like, oh, I don't have the time to go get cheesesteaks today.
Doesn't
It's
mean
just
he
like-
can't
It's
get 'em,
like
though.
Yeah.
community day is like it's like going to church, you know, like it sucks, and then like when like the second you're home, it's like the best part of the week because it's the longest time
Yeah.
before
until
there's
it-
more church or something. So
Also,
but yeah, like it's
I feel that
I think
very
it's-
slightly every day with the regular walk, but yeah, 10 times more with the
well,
community.
I
day walk.
was gonna say because you were like I rushed downstairs to get the community day done and at midnight, and it's like, well, you do that every day with every walk, don't you? Like, don't you walk like
There are more often than not, I will do it at night. Yeah, I'll do like a round of work and then I'll go.
but like at night for you is like 1, 2 in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
But there are days where I'm like, I'll get a jump on tomorrow, and instead of waiting till midnight, I'll do it during the day, and then I give myself like the extra buffer of that time. So just depends on my mood. But if I'm not doing it when I think about it, then I'm just going to continually think about it. It's going to drive me nuts. So as soon as I don't mind doing it at night, especially now, because right now there's so much stuff I'm watching and so much I want to watch. Like I don't have to, we were saying a few months ago, I was like, I got stuff I'm watching, but I'm not like,
I'm
right now I'm living the dream.
right now I'm living such a dream as far as like TV shows and movies that we've been watching.
they're all going to end at the same
And that's
time.
why I
Unfortunately-
was just thinking like, crap, when this is over, what the heck am I gonna
Invincible just
watch?
ended. Severance is ending this coming week. So
and
Common Side Effects.
Common Side Effects
is
is
ending
is-
soon.
Yeah, it's like 1 or 2.
we still got White Lotus. We got a few
Yeah.
episodes left on White Lotus.
Yeah,
Man, that Invincible finale.
it was great. Great.
I was talking to my
on the
mom
edge
about
of
it
my
last
seat.
night, and she said it was so good. She said I almost called you just to talk to you about that. She's like, I love that finale. She said I think it was the best episode. I was like, I might put it in the running for one of the best episodes of the show. It was
It was so good.
staggering.
I'm noticing weird. I'm still episode 4.
Oh,
That's
so Mark hasn't died yet. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Someone sent me like a video showing me the new skins and stuff in Fortnite,
Mm.
and I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing.
Oh,
And then like the very next episode, I was like,
yeah, you
oh,
You haven't
and
seen
now I understand.
the blue and black Mark yet. Yeah.
Well, that one I did see,
Oh.
but there was something else that I was like, I wonder why that's done like that. There was a back bling where I was like,
Oh,
Huh. And then-
I don't remember the back bling.
and then the very next episode explained that. But I've been noticing in the animation, it's
I gotta
like
talk to you
they
about that.
hold things for an extra like second or two
Mhm.
where
adds up.
nobody says anything, nobody does anything. There's no motion. It's
Yep.
not even like a
Hi, Solid Master Link.
a moment for contemplation or anything. It's just like
Yeah,
You
it's an
know-
animation trick. Watch modern day Simpsons because they do it all the time. They'll
because it
hold
adds
a
up to
shot-
like minutes,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah,
It,
it's
it
just
gives
gross.
them another 30 seconds to a minute throughout the episode that they don't have to worry about. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. And you are totally right. That's
How about
totally a
this?
thing.
Cut to commercial that much sooner than like you're not gaining anything. You're
That's
not-
the thing
not
with
selling it to people here.
with Invincible. I don't understand why they would do it
because they're
there's
only
no
cutting and pasting
constraints.
stuff too, or like right.
There's no constraint. You're not on regular TV. like, what's the constraint? Why are you doing this? They feel maybe Amazon has said like every episode has to have like, 40 to 45 to 55 minutes. That's what you need. I don't know but it doesn't make sense with me.
But
for
like
Invincible.
they use essentially like backplates so much
Mhm.
anyway. So like it's just weird. It's just so weird. Like, they cut to a wide shot and you don't even see the characters' mouths moving because they're like a little bit smaller in the frame, whatever. That's fine. But like I just feel like there's another way around it because it's been very blatant in this.
It really bugs me.
Like there was like almost a tender moment between characters and they said something. Like one of the characters said something, and instead of like living in that like that actual the moment that existed there, they just paused. It's like they pause
Mhm.
and then cut to the next scene, and it's
There
like
was something, I think it was Invincible. There was something that happened this season where it was a pause, and it went long enough that I was like, did something happen? Like, did the stream stop? But it didn't. Without spoilers for what happens in the finale. The finale, very clearly in Invincible, they were like, save money for the final episode, because there are some scenes in the final episode of this season where the animators were like, animate this properly, because there's some stuff, like there's scenes where Mark goes flying through the air and like hits the ground and puts his fist down or like looks up at somebody, where it's like painstakingly animated. It looks gorgeous, and I'm like, why, Jesus, like.
Meanwhile, so many
terrible
other
example.
moments when they're actually in the middle of an act, like any sort of action, flying, fighting, anything, their
Nothing
faces,
going on.
there's a complete wash.
Nothing
Yeah,
going
they
on.
don't. There's nothing.
See, I hate to do this because the animation conditions
Hello,
for
Solid
all
Master Link.
animators are terrible. Every animators are worked horrendously. It's the same for special effects people. But in
I
Japan,
thought you were going to say special education
Nope.
teachers, and I was going to be like, that's really nice of you.
in Japan, the animation industry, in Japan, their work ethic is completely different, and their work in general is, their working conditions are really rough, and they get worked to the bone. But in animation, it's extra prevalent. It's very bad. But I don't want to say it's so difficult. If it was an indie project that was being animated, then they would put the time in because they could and they want to. But like with anime, by and large, anime episodes from time to time, sure, they'll have episodes that are more intricately animated than others, but there's never, at least for the vast majority of shows, there's never really moments where you're like, ooh, this looks really bad, or oh, they're like this is a budget constraint. Sure, there are things that happen where you notice it, but an overall level of quality is still there. Like it still is nice to look at, and things are drawn well. And I've said again, it's our animation industry over here. Our shows do not look nice, and they don't have to, and that's fine. But it's something that I notice because I watch a lot of animation. Like
it's like I mean, we've talked about this. Like on Disney, you've got like Disney animation, Pixar animation, and then you have like Disney kids programming TV show animation, and the TV shows look horrible. And I feel like there's enough executives or whatever who are like, that's fine, we can do that. And you know what? Anybody will watch this stuff. Just depending on the writing or whatever, we can get away with it because people are going to watch it. We're like, we don't care. So I feel like the bar has just been dropped.
And again, I know this is a very nuanced subject, and I'm not saying this way is right or that way is wrong or whatever, and I'd love to talk about much more in depth, and I apologize if I'm coming off sounding ignorant about all this, but I would like the animation industry to get to a point where the animators are given the appropriate amount of time to do quality work, and they don't feel rushed, and then they can feel proud of the work that they've put in because they've had the time and the appropriate pay to do it. I hate knowing that anime, more often than not, looks amazing and fantastic, and they do some incredible stuff with animation, but those people are worked so terribly hard under absolutely horrendous conditions. And like the government in Japan is looking into stepping in right now and doing things to take care of that because it's so notoriously bad. we need to get to animators, and animation needs to get to a better place in general. I can only hope that something like Common Side Effects, which is animated by Titmouse, or
Is it?
Titmouse?
No.
Tit-
Is it?
That's
Isn't
the animation studio, right?
that's the team that does, or the
They
studio?
do everything.
Yeah, but for them to do it Invincible, and
they don't do Invincible, do they?
I thought they do Pantheon, Skybound, and I thought Titmouse did too.
Man, you guys are. I wish I knew what you guys know. I'm sitting there like,
that-
oh, he punched him in the face.
No, like for the most part, that's how I kind of watched a lot of Invincible. But after hearing him talk about it, and then I was watching it, and I'm just like, why is this? Like, why are we holding on this shot of these two people hugging? And it's like a shot on their face, and there's no expression at all, and then it holds there for a long time. Somebody else commented about ads, that the other thing that I'm really starting to get annoyed with, and with ads and everything, when they edit these things for television, ad breaks are very clear. They're very deliberate. Now with streaming, ad breaks happen
Yes.
at random moments, and so like you're
Especially on Invincible.
and I hate it when you're cutting dialogue in the middle for something, and it's like, I guess people don't care about it enough or whatever. But like there should still be some sort of
Invincible, you'll like they don't even cut it
Jarring when
appropriately. You can see they're trying to cut it like at the end of the scene and then flow into a next, but that's not what happens. You'll get like a cut at the end of the scene, and when it comes back, you get like a little bit of that scene
Okay.
and then the next scene.
How about this? Have you had an issue with Invincible? This is where it's happened, especially for me. I think you
I
may
had one this week. I think you're going to talk about what I think you're going to talk about.
I started an episode, and it started the recap
Yep.
audibly,
Yep.
but visually it
Yep.
started the actual
That's
episode.
exactly what happened to me with the
And
finale.
I kept restarting it, and it kept messing up. And then I kept restarting. I restarted it like 4 or 5 times, and it kept messing up. It finally worked, but when I tapped the screen to get like the X-ray stuff, so the whole system was not aligned. It was like minutes apart.
Yeah.
So when I tapped the screen, it wouldn't give me people's information, like the X-ray for what I'm seeing. It was happening from like 2 scenes prior. So like it kind of corrected itself, but it actually didn't correct itself because that was still going on.
When I had it, it was with the finale episode, and it happened twice, and I just quit the app and started again, and then it worked. But yeah, I was watching the beginning of that episode with the recap audio, and I was like, what the hell's going on
Yeah.
here? So yeah, it just happened. I was going to say with Titmouse, I hope their working conditions are good, because they are a studio that puts out.
Sorry, what did you come up with? What did they do? Do they do
They do a whole
Invincible
bunch
as
of
well?
stuff. I don't think they did. I didn't look into that. I was double checking that they did common side
Tony
effects.
De
And
La
they do.
Mancha says common side effects was Green Street Pictures.
Well, Titmouse definitely does animation on common side effects.
You know what?
But please, I haven't said it. Just let me get it out.
How does it feel?
I hope their working conditions are good, because their animation is at least really interesting, and it has a very interesting style in that show. And you either like it or you don't. It's same as Scavenger's Reign. They're animated the exact same way. Two shows look exactly the same, but you either like that style or you don't. But I can appreciate that it's a style, and they put a lot of care and attention into it. So I hope the studio is treated well. That's what I was going to say. Go ahead.
You know what they could do to ensure better working conditions, right?
There are plenty of unions inside the
They
animation industry.
They could unionize. And I bet if you looked, those people are treated more fairly, perhaps not as fairly as they deserve, but more fairly than those who have not unionized.
All right. Well, yes, I'm sure that is.
I think the biggest thing is like, you know, the thing that frustrates me the most is that like these animators, special effects artists, everybody, they're not getting paid properly. I don't think. Maybe they are. I'm not getting their, their pay stubs, but there's companies and like the people at the top who are complaining that we can't pay these people more because we don't have the budget to do it. And then they're paying themselves like, their bonuses and everything else, where it's like, half that bonus could have paid for all these people. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff that's the big business part of it, is just getting in the way of everything.
Quick look The Invincible wiki on fandom says that the show is produced by Skybound Animation and Amazon MGM Studios. It doesn't say anything about Titmouse.
I thought did Titmouse do?
I know Titmouse
Pantheon,
has their
though?
logo at the end of everything they do, and you hear the bird and it goes chirp. That's not in Invincible.
Yeah, but Pantheon, I thought it was.
That
and that's
sounds right. It's been a
But
while
Pantheon
since
is
I
also
watched that.
animated by the same, I think, Skybound 2 or something. Like they're done by the same people. We've had that conversation.
They're all in bed together.
Yes, Pantheon is Titmouse. There you go.
But is Titmouse Pantheon?
Oh, maybe it's the same
Mhm.
producers. I don't know. I thought Pantheon and we don't need to keep talking about this. It's not game related. There's not even an Invincible game.
There is, yeah. There's multiple.
So it's bring it
There's one
back.
on your phone. There's one on a computer. Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what that noise was for. But
You know.
it's true. All right, that's that. Let's get into news.
Big
Nicky, who
report
wants
on
to
the
talk-
Nintendo
No.
Switch
Oh, okay.
regarding Invincible. ... Click on that one. Clickbait. We'll talk about it during the news.
Sorry, I'm texting family. You are not available to hang out tonight?
No,
No, you are not.
I got to get home.
Okay, just asking. Just
Why?
asking.
You got
I gotta
big
get
plans?
home.
I have family asking what's going on. I wanted to make sure you.
I mean,
wanted
this
to see what
guy's
you were doing.
probably-
He's got some sweaty family members, all right?
Listen, I heard you say earlier that I thought you said you weren't available to hang out.
Yeah, I wanted to go get a cheesesteak. I'm like, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
All right. Let's talk about Nintendo news. What do we got? Let me fill you in. We're not going to do that. A patent popped up for the for Nintendo. We don't know what it applies to. Probably applies to Switch 2, though.
Patent pending.
And as I always say with patents, when Nintendo does a patent, it doesn't mean they're going to release a product. They could, or it may never see the light of day. For every let's see here. For every Wii Motion Plus, there's the Wii Remote Rocking Horse.
The rocking horse.
It just doesn't happen. So this is potentially for Switch 2. In my professional opinion, and I am not a professional, I would say this will be a part of Switch 2. What is this patent about? Let me tell you, because it's very exciting if you're a fan of traditional video games. The patent shows that Nintendo is working on their own system for proximity chat in video games.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, proximity chat in video games is you hear a person's real voice in a game in relation to where you are standing in that game. So if someone virtually walks closer to you, you will hear their voice louder. Or if they walk further away, you will hear it quieter until you won't hear it anymore.
Does the Nintendo Switch currently have chat?
There's no
Through the
voice
mobile
chat?
app,
Not allowed to talk to anybody.
if
on
you
the
use the
Switch.
mobile app, you have voice chat, but it's on a game-by-game basis. There's
What's
no
the
system-wide
mobile app?
voice
Not the
chat.
parents app. The parental
Switch app.
guidance. I don't think I ever got the Switch app.
Wow. So yeah, you have to use the app to talk to people. It's a cumbersome setup and not too many games use it. It's not a viable solution. It's a Nintendo being like, this is what people will do and nobody's going to do it. But,
If they make it a little harder, then it kind of,
I would say they make this a lot harder, but
Right, but it's like that way, if you're going to talk smack and be inappropriate on it, then you've earned it, I guess. That's not true.
You've earned the right to.
Yeah, because you went
if
through
you're
all the
going to jump
hoops.
through all these hoops, then you've earned the right to trash talk. Sure. Yeah, it's one of the areas where Nintendo's lacking. Where traditional gamers are like, why can't Nintendo get this together? It's been so long since we've had voice chat. And I understand both sides of the coin. As someone who plays a game, who plays games online, yes, a system-wide voice chat setup has been the standard for other platforms for over a decade now. Nintendo should probably have one. But I also understand why Nintendo is hesitant to do them, because you hear about all the horrors that happen on the other platforms. So I get both sides of it. But, then you have games like Fortnite where it doesn't even matter because Fortnite has its own chat and you talk in
I think
there.
they could eventually use some sort of AI so that it takes any inappropriate language and completely alters it.
What is inappropriate?
Well, like cuss words and stuff like that.
Subs in like a spring
Yeah, but
noise.
Yeah.
Nintendo's not worried about like
Ooh la la.
voice chat. What's that? Come on, go. But anyway, this patent popped up for proximity voice chat. Now, the thing that's very interesting about that is if they are working on proximity voice chat, that would not be something that would point to a baked-in voice chat system on something. Would they do that on a Switch now? No, they wouldn't do that on a Switch now. Could it be like for a specific game where they're like, Nintendo's like, this game needs voice chat, so we have to make sure this has specific voice chat in it? Sure, that could be the case.
MEO Smiling Man 2 with voice chat.
But what everybody's hoping for
and
is
your voice sounds different when the bag's over your head.
Exactly.
what everybody's hoping
Can
for
you
is
tell I
that
still haven't
this is
played the game?
pointing to system-wide voice chat for Switch 2. It doesn't not mean that. It doesn't definitively mean that, but there is a chance. So Nintendo working with voice chat and proximity chat in general is certainly something positive, but as to how they will put this out and if they put it out, I don't know. But keep your fingers crossed. It is Switch 2 related. That would be lovely to have
You
just
say
a regular.
proximity, it makes me think of proximity mines, and then I'm thinking,
Oh my.
so in a Nintendo game, you'd have, instead of a proximity mine, you'd have like little USB speakers or whatever, not USB, Wi-Fi, no, Bluetooth speakers that you throw around. So as people are like running around the space, you can be talking to them in like, remote things, proximity chat. Do you get it?
I get it.
But let's also comment on the fact that the only thing that we've seen as far as a game is an alleged Mario Kart game. And so if we could talk to
I
each
don't know that
other,
it's an alleged Mario Kart game. I think
well, it
it's pretty
hasn't.
sure it's a Mario Kart
Yeah, but
game.
it hasn't officially been confirmed.
Yeah, well, you're right.
And
If
so,
we're gonna go
like-
that far, it is a game with Mario in a cart, but it has not been confirmed to be a Mario Kart game. There you go.
Or like a full, it's not a full game. Maybe it's an experience. Oh, right?
Sure, it could be that.
Well,
Yes.
with this news or this rumor that you're talking about with the voice chat,
None
or
of
this
it's
patent-
rumor.
the
This is
patent,
fact. Yes.
It could certainly come in handy when playing a Mario
Mario
Kart
Kart,
game.
yeah.
That's exactly
Like-
what it would be for.
I think that would be fun.
Yelling at people while you're throwing out turtle shells. As
Yeah,
you go by.
when you hit them with a turtle shell and like they're stopped and you pass them and you're like, yeah, screw you, or whatever you say.
Vin Loria says, would be nice to see something akin to what the Wii U had again, although nothing we've seen so far indicates that the Switch 2 has any sort of built-in microphone. No.
Has anyone ever said that? Has anyone ever said, I hope this is like the Wii U?
Yes, many people have said it. They're called Nintendo fans. I don't know what's going to happen here. We'll find out, but I would love for just a system-wide voice chat. That would be great. Nintendo's tried a whole bunch of solutions. At this point, they have to be like, well, we've tried other things and it doesn't work. But Nintendo could also be like, it doesn't matter that we don't have system-wide voice chat because we have the best-selling system by far.
It's not gonna
like,
happen.
people don't care. They found other ways. Like I said, people use Discord all the time for all that stuff. So who knows? But there's a patent out there, so Nintendo's doing experiments with voice chat for sure.
Pending.
No, patent secured.
It's always pending, isn't it?
No, patents, they're only pending when they're not approved.
Really? I see a patent pending everywhere. I never see patent secured.
Because something gets patented.
Oh,
Things don't say patent secured, they say patented.
I know, but like even the patent runs out too, right? That's why I always thought
Yes,
pending.
you
I
do
thought,
have to
I
re-up
thought pending
patents,
was
yes.
like the long game. Like you're
It's only
like as
pending
high as
when
good as you get.
It's only pending when you haven't been issued an initial patent. Like once it is patented, then after that you re-up or refresh the patent.
Oh, all right.
Moving on, we talked about rumors of Niantic, the Pokemon Go Pikmin Bloom company, being scooped up by Scopely, and that is true. It happened this week. We got a confirmation on a $3.5 billion deal. Scopely will now be the owner of Pokemon Go and Pikmin Bloom, and apparently the teams at Niantic that were working on this stuff are still going to be involved here. So you can go read their big blog breakdown on either Niantic's blog or the Pokemon Go blog or the Pikmin Bloom blog.
Scopely wanted to get their hands on that money clip, that wooden Pikmin Bloom money clip.
Yeah, I'm sure Scopely
Also-
wasn't like, we want Pikmin Bloom.
I mean, how
We
many
don't
of
care
those
about
exist in the
Pokemon
world?
Go.
Who knows?
10, 15?
Right?
I also, well, they're going to need more of those money clips if that's how much money they got
Money
floating around,
bags.
right? But I also think it's funny that Scopely sounds like a Pokemon. So like Pokemon Go, Niantic was bought by one singular Pokemon.
Scopely,
It's like a
you
telescope
could convince me Scopely is a Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Sure. Game Freak 613 says, yes. This just feels so icky. Pokemon Go stopped being fun for me ages ago, and I'm a pretty massive Pokemon fan. Pikmin Bloom, unfortunately, never caught my interest once I realized the flowers I planted faded away after a week or so. It's just like real flowers, my friend. They fade away.
You want to tell everybody about the flower you saw here?
Yeah, you know what? I do, because I'm still on my team here. And if you guys aren't on my team, it's totally fine. I'll tell this story in a second.
The heck is happening?
I just want a game that rewards me for walking without collecting and selling my data like crazy, or trying to get me to spend money through microtransactions. Well, welcome to the game industry, my friend. It's not going to exist unless an indie guy makes it. And
it exists.
Who knows what will happen?
It exists. It was My Fitness, or what was it called? The DS. You got your little. What was it? Is it walking? You got the little odometer, not odometer.
My
Oh my
walk-
god, pedometer, and you put it on your thing and you walk with it.
Odama.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
my walking trainer. or something.
trainer. I think that was
We
it.
had a bunch of those.
We got there,
Personal trainer.
But that collected
Cookie.
your data. They said they
but it
don't
didn't
want
sell
one that
anywhere. It was.
not my comment. Theirs. They said without collecting and selling my data.
Molto bene.
It didn't collect. It didn't collect any other data
I'm not gonna
other
fight
than your
this fight.
steps, didn't it?
I'm not going to fight this fight. It's not my fight to have. Go talk to Game Freak.
I'm just saying it was a
Listen to me.
pedometer
Listen
that
to
only
me.
collected
I
your
don't
walking
care.
steps.
I
It
don't
didn't
care.
collect your GPS info or anything.
I don't care. This is not my comment. I don't care. I agree with you. I don't care.
I'm saying come on. Nintendo's already done it.
No,
Let's get
no, Game Freak. You're not listening. I agree with you. I don't care. This is Game Freak's comment. You got to talk to Game
my
Freak.
God, it's great. It's great.
I don't know what to say.
I'm talking to Game Freak right now. If they're
Okay,
listening,
there
what
we
am I?
Okay.
It's already been gotten. If you have a DS, go get a
already
pedometer.
got
I'm
there.
sure. I'm sure you can get one still.
I wonder if mine still works. I mean, I have two of them.
Do they have?
Sure
I
it still
can't remember
works.
if you could pop them open to change a battery or something.
Yeah,
That sounds
I think there was
risky.
a screw, like a little screw on the back. I think you could.
You just don't want to let the little guy out that's inside of there.
Oh my God, that's what's
Because
going
all
on
it
in
is
there.
a little guy with one of those little thumb things and
Oh,
like
that
tick,
poor man.
tick, 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 tick,
Ball
tick,
flicker?
tick, tick.
I use those
tick,
at work
tick,
all the
tick.
time. It's very satisfying.
All right, in one of the rare situations where I did not forget something, we will talk about this. So
Should I go get it?
no, after maybe.
Okay.
I am not. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anyone listening, especially the people at the table. I am not an outside person. Don't really spend a lot of time outside. Don't like outside.
I, on the other hand, very much am.
Now, I'm going to tell the story. If you feel I'm putting in too much flavor in it, you can jump in.
It's sweet. It's very sweet.
Flavor Town.
Go ahead.
So we're getting near spring. Spring's the 20th.
Mhm.
Weather is warming up. Things are changing with the foliage.
And how?
So I was outside taking out the garbage the other day, just this past week.
I'm sorry.
What?
Just
Oh, sorry that I was taking it
Yeah,
out.
well, you don't
Yes,
like to go
thank you.
outside, so
Thank you very much.
just
But we got new
apologizing.
garbage cans, which is very exciting. So
Take it.
Every
take
cloud.
it. Taking out the trash.
No, we don't. Like, what do you do with your old Like, you have to use the garbage can they gave
throw them in
you.
the garbage.
So now what do we do with
Yeah,
our old garbage?
Yeah, does the old garbage can fit in the new one so they can
It
just
might.
throw it out?
It might.
It doesn't fit in the new
Doesn't
garbage
fit.
can.
It doesn't
Because it
belong.
doesn't belong.
So I'm taking
in a
out the
garbage
garbage and I'm walking back and I was like, oh
Can
my
you use it
God.
for compost or something? I don't know.
I'll figure something out.
We
I
could
wish-
use it as a redneck pool.
I wish I knew this like a month or
I
two
didn't
ago.
tell you.
Because
We told you, yeah.
Oh,
we
that's
ju-
right,
We
that's
just
right.
didn't know
We
when
did-
we were getting the
that's
new
what
ones.
it was.
Yeah, it was like just off.
That's right.
So I'm walking back and I was like, oh my God, a flower. There's a flower growing there. And there was like, the front of our house has like all those bushes and whatever. And there was a flower in like
The rose that sprang from concrete.
is the flower in like the dirt and rest of the grass there. It's like, oh, there's a flower blooming. I got no idea what flower it is. I
Is
don't
it
know.
crocus or
So
purple or white? What was it?
later that day, Mom Brain comes in and I'm excited to tell her because I know she really likes flowers.
And,
She's
like,
big into flowers
The
and
week
plants.
prior, we were at the movie theater, and I scared
Look
him,
at these
stopping dead
flowers.
in my tracks, being like, "The daffodils are
Right?
starting to
Yeah.
pop up." That's like a huge
Honest
thing for me.
reaction where she was
Yeah.
like she'd been shot or saw someone
Yeah,
get shot.
it's like such a.
So she loves
I love
flowers. So I was
spring.
like, I can't wait to tell Mom Brain this because I know she loves it. So I was like, Mom Brain, I got big news for you. There's a flower blooming outside. And she's like, what? And
My
I was
little
like,
heart
yeah.
went pitter patter.
I was like, come
know
on
where
out.
all of our bulbs are.
So I go, come on out and look. So I take her out there and I go, there it is. and she walks over
It's
and
a
she
weed,
looks.
isn't
Well,
it?
I
And she-
didn't
hold
believe
on.
him at first. I
She
was
wa-
like, no. And
She
he's like,
walks
yes.
over and she looks and she starts giggling, and she turns around and she has it in her hand. It was a fake flower.
What?
Now, how am I supposed to? She's like, you didn't know? I'm
gonna
like,
go get
no, I never imagined that a fake flower would be sitting where regular
And it had
flowers
been-
would grow.
There's never. Well,
One random
It had
fake
been real
flower
windy,
that
too.
have, yeah. So it blew into there, and she thinks it's the funniest thing that I thought it was a real flower.
It's pretty
Well,
funny.
I mean, I think it's funny that you
Now,
see
wait, if
something.
she brings in a sunflower or like a Venus flytrap, okay,
I
laugh
just-
at me.
I
When she
just-
brings in the flower, she brings in.
I just think it's funny that you prefaced the story with I hate outside," as if you can't identify what's a real flower or not because you never go outside.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would never imagine there's a flower that's a fake flower out in the grass and the dirt. I would never
Well,
ever think
I'm sure she got closer than you did to the
That's the
flower,
thing.
right? So she
Oh, she's a beaut. That's
oh,
also
what
very
a,
plastic.
What
yeah.
a lovely flower.
that. So if you walked by that outside, would you be like, that's a fake flower?
I probably would.
Considering the
Okay.
temperatures that we have and how nothing has bloomed as that is, and it's very alone, I would question.
Well, isn't every flower alone until its friends bloom?
No, usually they kind of all come up together.
And it was stuck in the ground like it was growing.
Yes.
well, that's
I mean, kind
that's
of.
impressive.
And
What are you saying? Kind of. It was literally in the dirt on the ground.
yeah, it was in amongst the creeping time. What is so funny to me is
Ah, the
that like
creeping
Comes for us
time.
all.
I know, right, where like all of our like spring blooming stuff is, right? Like I like, that's my domain out there. And I'm like, there's definitely not a flower. There's definitely not. He's like, no, it's a purple flower. And I'm like, okay, crocus, maybe. And then to see that it wasn't real, just it was so sweet. and
Fluffernutter
lovely.
turned it into clickbait. Man finds unnatural surprise while taking out the trash.
I will also follow this up with
So yes, I don't know what flower this is. I would never know. That's why I
It's
started
not
the
a real
story the way
flower.
I did. This doesn't even represent a real flower.
I mean,
It
think
has to. This has to be something like a real flower.
I mean, yeah.
maybe a begonia, maybe.
Begonia.
God, that is good.
Also, I have to say,
Don't eat any of the fruit on the any of the
Yeah.
wax fruit on the table either. By the way,
I have to say that this week Raw Meat made it a point to go out and film the blood moon for me because I didn't ask. I
Even
didn't-
after you crapped all over
I
me.
Man.
didn't crap all over. It was just sweet.
I woke up late but I had to wake up
I
early,
see so many of these flowers that look like this flower. What the
and
hell are you
I
talking
woke
about?
up like a half hour late. But of course, celestial events taking place, and it was not a cloud in the sky when I went to sleep. And I woke up in the morning thinking I would see like the tail end of it, cloudy as can be. Couldn't see a thing.
Well, you got my video now.
as could be.
Yeah, I saw that video. I'm not entirely sure
I-
what that was the moon.
I
I'm kidding.
I almost didn't send it to you because I was like, I don't even want to hear this joke.
Did you get the TikTok of the girl who, or did you send it to me? Was like, I call that the Capri Sun sky because when you look up, it's like you're inside a Capri Sun pouch looking up through the straw.
Hi, Aaron, and thanks for the backup. Mom Brain, what did I call the moon
The blood moon?
in here?
Blood moon?
No,
Blood
because
fart moon?
That's what it was called. I said it was like a
Oh, Castlevania moon.
Castlevania moon. It looked exactly like a Castlevania moon to me. Hello, human fart. Good to see. So there you go. Tried to show Mom Brain a flower. She laughed at me. Never do it again.
It was an endearing.
Man goes into an alternate universe to bring love to his beloved, and she laughs in his
I
face.
just think it's funny that in every other aspect of your life, like you check your sources so hard. Like your mother tells you she loves you, and you check your sources.
And you couldn't
And
take
then-
three
and then
steps
it's
closer.
A freaking fake flower outside, and you're like, "That's real."
Hey,
I
Like,
don't.
It's
what- this is-
perfect.
Listen,
I can't.
hold
so,
up.
It's like
Hold up.
it was freezing cold yesterday, but this thing beautiful.
Wait,
Like
she even prefaced it with, "We just saw flowers growing at the movie
Well,
theater."
we saw there was the flowers hadn't bloomed yet. They were
Yeah,
just
but we
starting
saw
to,
things growing,
know.
so I was like, "Things
it's-
grow."
There's a difference between
love it.
growing and blooming.
and
I
show
saw-
No, I agree.
What are they?
But I like
snowdrops, the white
in
ones.
my mind,
I
it's
can't
like
talk over this guy.
insanity that like I'm outside, I see a flower in the dirt and the grass, and I'm supposed to be like, I don't know if that's a real flower or not because I don't know anything about flowers. Like I
Listen.
would never be like that wouldn't bloom there, or we don't have that there.
Listen,
I'm just like,
this is the start of a journey. You're
journey's over.
excuse the pun. You're a late
I was gonna
bloomer,
say,
but I
the
think you're
journey's
getting
not
there.
done.
The killer is you spent all spring and summer bitching and moaning about my hyssop when you were getting in and out of the car. Like, I hate them, so I thought it was like really sweet that you like saw like
Because I know you like flowers. I did it for you. Now I'm not. Forget it. It's done. It doesn't matter what flower I see. I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not going to say anything.
What's
'cause-
a hydrangea? Is that the one that's like low to the ground, but it comes up
like
with
a
like
bush
a bush?
with a ball.
No,
the
okay, that's
flowers
not
are
the
like
one.
a
What's the one
ball
that
of-
I'm thinking?
They're like purple or white.
What's the
blue.
purple and pink ones that are look, they're on ground level and they come out with like a of flowery goodness there. Very aromatic in the springtime.
Lilac?
No, something with an H, I thought.
Hylac.
Hyacinth?
Yes.
Ooh,
They
that's
kind
the
of smell
one.
funky.
Yeah.
Mom
Very
Brady, for those
strong
who don't
smell.
know, actually
Those
used to
are-
work at a garden center.
Those are I
I
saw
almost said
those starting
something
to,
different.
to break through.
I'm familiar with all these flower names because of Animal Crossing
you
New
go.
Horizons.
There you go.
All right, moving on back to Nintendo news.
Yeah, maybe you just need to play a little more Animal Crossing New
no,
Horizons.
I'm
then
out.
You'll be
on
able
any-
to...
If any game has a flower in it, I'm out. No flowers.
Oh no!
Can't see them.
Oh,
Don't want to interact.
I just
with
wanted to say to his credit, those glasses are very old. He hasn't gone an
That's
eye
right.
check. This
That's
you
true.
know,
That's true.
through those
He
eyes.
was probably
maybe-
hungry and confused.
It's true.
Those are always true.
And he was
That's always true.
outside and it was cold and
Outside, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had everything working against you, so we're not teasing you.
But
We
let's
know
also-
how you
let
feel.
me
I
make this
also have
clear.
to
I
say-
think this is very funny. I'm not upset at all.
I was
but
in my yard. There's
love
a
talking
piece
about
of plastic greenery too, where I don't know where it came from either. Like these winds are bringing things from all.
have you
from
ever
all over.
actually picked up and checked all those rolls your
Have you ever
dog
had a
finds?
Krispy
Because
Kreme?
maybe they're not all real.
Well, I mean, the fact
Yeah,
that she's eating them tells me they're real.
Dogs eat anything.
while we're kind of off topic,
Whoa!
can I just bring something one other thing up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last week after the podcast, I said to Raw Meat that I should text you about this, and then I didn't, and so now's a good time. Last week, when I forget what the topic was, and Raw Meat was like, oh no, you're wrong, or like, oh, you spoiled. It was a show or something that he said that you spoiled, and you were like, I didn't spoil
Right.
anything, and then
Oh,
you were
'cause-
like, wait a minute,
Oh, yes.
I feel bad that I spoiled something and I shouldn't have done that. I just wanted you to know that really like hit hard for me. Because I am that kind of person where like if I feel like I've done something wrong, my first thing is not to apologize or be like, whoopsie, I did something wrong. It's usually to be like, you're a butthead. I wouldn't do something wrong. So it kind of stuck in my head, and it's I think made me a better person and helped me make better choices this
Oh,
week.
That's
And
great.
so-
Thanks. For
She
saying
said that
that.
to me, and I was like, I said it to do later that night. I was talking to him in Fortnite and saying
That's
how
really nice.
impressive that was and how big of a deal that was for not just you to do it, anybody to do that. That's
Yeah,
not
and I
something people
think
do often.
You shouldn't discredit the effect that can have on lots of people
That's
who
right.
hear it, because it's a really good example
Yeah.
that like I think should be made regularly. Like I think that's like well, hold on,
Yes.
that was my knee-jerk
Well,
reaction,
like-
and I think people need to have like, especially in the world we live in today, I think people need to have that kind of grace with themselves and with each other to be like, I can stop right now and turn it around.
Yeah, I had to. Thanks for saying that. I'm glad that you, I don't know, take it the same way I did, because I feel like I grew a lot myself just by
Yeah.
reacting that way. And like it happened because I was called out. Like no one likes to get called out. Like I've been wrong before, and I might even be like, yeah, I'm wrong, whatever. But like it was the way you were like, whoa, spoilers, and then I just got so defensive.
Sorry.
Instead of no,
We
not
got
your fault
there.
at all. It was like I
We
wasn't
got somewhere
even.
special.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to be. I don't know. No one likes to get called
No
out.
one likes to
Basically,
get called out.
Yeah.
You're right.
And
But to know,
Even if it's
but
fun,
to
in fun or in
to
jest, like-
recognize that feeling and to think about how you're acting and be like, I can handle this differently. That is something not many people do. There's something really special to that. So
yeah, and it was like one
Mom
little
right.
moment, right? It wasn't like it was this big like revelation of like, I just realized my purpose in life. It was just like, hey, hold on, we could do this a different way.
That's
people
how
happy.
At least for me, that's how I found it helps. It has to be the like little moments at a time where I'm just reminding myself or catching myself, you know. And even if you catch yourself a little late, the important thing is to catch it
That's
and
right.
to like, you know, address it, because and I felt so much better after I
Right?
did that too. Not that again, it wasn't a big deal, but like it just felt better kind of coming clean and being like, sorry about that. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Why am I digging my heels over this? You know, like, and I've been able to kind of apply that to a lot of other things in my life too. But it's a long, hard road, and it's, you know, there's good days and bad days, and I'm not always cognizant of it. So I'm glad that I caught it, and I'm glad that you liked it.
Yeah, you made it easier for like me to be able to do that because you did it. So
Well,
you
that's nice.
I
to know.
personally have a hard time with the whole concept of like I can restart my day at any point.
oh yeah.
Uh,
You know what? Being in education helps with that because I do it with kids all the time. I'm like, let's just start over.
right.
And actually, you do that with me. Like when I get myself all, you're like, let's just start. Let's just restart.
Lots of restarts. Lots of restarts.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
All right, I do too. It was.
I'm the only person
great
that
to see.
hasn't thanked you and commented on it.
and I will not.
I'm proud of you,
Real proud of you.
big guy.
Proud of you. Thanks.
All right, moving on.
And I won't even comment on how you spoiled something later in the week. I'm just kidding.
See.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Isn't that a comment?
I'm sorry. I
Uh,
do appreciate that.
a
It's
report
very-
came out. Now, by report,
We're back
see,
to
we
news?
mark it rumor, and then we say report. So again, there are, you know, I am a diehard Nintendo fan, certainly, but
This
there
stuff's
are
getting
people who
crazy.
take it way further than I do, and God bless them. So there have been people who've been tracking shipments that Nintendo has been making, or Nintendo's partners have been making, to see what's up with the Switch 2, and all this stuff is verified and
illegal?
confirmed, and yeah, it's all public shipping data. It's you can look at it anytime you want about anything. This specific information comes from the user LIC over at Famiboards, which is a Nintendo-specific message board place. They were tracking shipments for manufacturers and all that stuff. And you might remember that I said a while ago that some gamers were worried that some gamers in the United States were worried that getting a Switch 2 would be more expensive in the States because there would be tariffs on hardware made in China or with Chinese components and stuff like that. And I said, don't worry, because Nintendo already foresaw this stuff years ago, and they do some manufacturing through Vietnamese factories, and then those would be the ones that come here, and then that would avoid the tariff. So this relates to the Vietnamese manufacturer called Vietnamese manufacturer called HVBG. And according to the shipping data, it seems that they have already produced and shipped nearly 400,000 units of the Switch 2.
So
And
it's
those are
already-
specifically in North America.
It's done and done, baby.
This was done in January for distribution throughout Canada.
So
and the
that
United
black
States.
market Switch could also have been a legit black market Switch, not
See,
just
when we
something
were
that
talking
some-
about that stuff, I was trying to stress that stuff was legit.
It
Yes,
fell
you
off
could
a
get
truck.
like we know the Switch 2 is being manufactured without a doubt. So those companies that are doing it on the manufacturing lines, yes, there are unsavory characters who will take some of the stuff off the manufacturing line and be like, "Yep, I'll sell you this." So we knew that was true for sure. But now with this information, it appears that nearly 400,000 units were shipped out in January, and they're just waiting to go. So again, April
they're
2nd,
probably like bricked right now, right? Like they need an update before they can be functional or something.
no,
Really?
really.
Sounds like a big risk. You know?
You can't sell hardware that needs an update just to function out of the box. That would be a horrible mistake. I'm sure that has
I
happened.
mean, that's
but
like stuff that has to get. Remember when I got
Well,
the
it can
Hatchimal?
function, but like every one of our systems
Or
that
the
we've gotten it
Magic
needed an
Mixie?
update before we could play it.
they
That
don't need an
Magic Mixie had to
update.
charge
What's
before
going
I
on
could
here?
play
What's
with
going
it?
on here? You don't need an update before you can play it. You can still play things without an update. There's people who still have their Switch on the original firmware right now.
Right, but I
because-
remember like when we first bought the DS Fat, we
Yeah.
all sat there and we all had to update it in the moment and stuff like that.
I want to stress you do not have to do that.
But if you want
You
that,
do
You're
not
saying
have
it's
to
a
connect to the
safety
internet.
feature.
Yes, you can still use your system without updates from now until the end of time. But yes, there will probably be issues. But to sell one that needs an update to function on a basic level, no, that would be a huge mistake.
So just to confirm, their way around the tariffs was to create another country named Vietnam and
That's it.
ship out of Vietnam.
That's right.
Okay.
So and then
Sure,
in
whatever.
addition to this, there are also apparently 42,000 roughly charging grips that are out there as well. So April 2nd is the Nintendo Direct that is completely Switch 2 focused. We know this thing is coming out this year. The question is when, and if Nintendo's already got units out there, will Nintendo during this April Direct be like, this sucker's coming out next week?
So
This
are they
sucker's coming out-
tracking? People are tracking these shipments only to America.
They're not only tracking for America, but we have the information for America.
I wonder how many units have been shipped to other regions.
Whoever is doing that has not shared it, or that stuff has not been tracked by
I
other
just
users.
want one. Get me a pre-order, please.
So,
secure it for me.
You know, like who was it? Joe Shabadoo said they're putting their money on May 22nd. Most of the analysts are saying June. So this sucker's coming soon. What we got? We're in March, April, May, June. We could be potentially 3 months away from this thing at most if the predictions are correct.
This is
Very
there's
exciting.
something in the air. Let me tell you.
Take the Apple approach of here's this thing, and you can get it like a month and a half from now. I don't know. Very exciting. I'm very excited. That would be awesome to get a system that's like, here it is, and you can have it 3 months from now instead of being like, here's a system, you got to wait a year to get it.
Can I just paint a little picture here?
Is it about the Switch 2?
Yeah.
Paint away. Go ahead,
So-
Bob.
In America, right? Kids are getting out of school
Mm,
in like June,
mm,
some earlier, some, but none later.
mm.
So like you're a
America.
kid, you're looking at summer vacation ahead of you, and right when your summer vacation starts, the Switch 2 releases. Like just
For a
think
lot
about
of
that
kids,
feeling.
It'll probably be like the greatest
What a
summer
Right.
ever.
Yeah.
Just that like warm, smooth summer vacation road ahead of you
Yeah.
with a Switch 2 and just your
Mm.
friends in a basement. Like
and you
ah!
and you're
And your
not
game.
interested in politics, and you've never even seen a
You're just-
news article ever.
And you're
Right?
playing a game with Mario in a cart, but it might not be Mario Kart. Man, what a time to
Like,
be.
and being able to like call your friends, tell your friends their gameplay is cracked with proximity.
That's not how you talk to your friends. You're gonna
Or-
tell them their dog water and stuff like that.
Is dog water still like the language we're using?
I was just thinking of something. I don't know what you would call a bad player right now.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'll ask at
Cooked.
work on Monday.
You would say you're cooked. Yeah, you could tell somebody you're cooked.
Talk
Get
about your
1v1. You're cooked.
talk over patent pending voice chat
No,
about how
pending is what. Oh, yes. okay,
about how
go ahead.
you're gooning over these new games
I'm gooning out
during
on
all that
Switch too.
Twilight
Did I
time.
tell you guys we had Mardi Gras Day yesterday at school?
That's
Little
off.
awkward.
I was like, what?
It's a week and
why
a half
are we
off
having-
too, right? Or-
But why are we doing a
I like
Mardi
how you're
Gras
like,
Day in a
it's
middle
not the
school?
correct time
Like,
yet.
Yeah.
tell me,
Kids can't celebrate it yet.
tell me, like what?
That's
Which
so
also,
funny.
happened to be
All kids' favorite things: showing boobs, drinking alcohol,
That's not what
partying
Mardi
in
Gras
general.
is about.
right. But that's what they know
Well,
about it, and
Yeah,
you're in
exactly.
a middle school.
What the hell does a middle school kid know?
Not
They know
to
about
mention
that.
That's
that
so
it was
funny.
Purim and Holy,
Purim?
two really exciting holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill
And we're gonna do the one that in America is like marked by alcohol consumption.
Isn't that your
and
favorite Sanrio character?
Purim?
Pom Pom Porum.
Porm Holy.
Smasher89 says, in order to prevent scalpers, maybe they release it the day after the direct in physical stores
Could
first.
you imagine that?
Though
Imagine.
interrupt me all you want. Just let me get Smasher's comment. That way, bots won't work for ordering, and if they limit to one per customer and with ties to Nintendo account, bam, problem avoided at least for the initial shipment. You know, that's not bad. I don't think they're going to do that, but a move to try and screw scalpers at least in the beginning. Get a lot of units out there certainly, and then not as much turnaround for people to pick up. Yeah, that's a very good point. Also, a whole bunch of analysts came out this week in a Bloomberg feature, and they were saying they expect the system to be out in June, the vast majority of them. They expect the system to be priced between $400 and $500. The vast majority are at the $450 mark. And they expect, based on what they've heard, numbers to be at 6 to 8 million units at launch worldwide. So if all of that is the case, then the Switch 2 will have the biggest launch of any gaming system ever.
That's 6
They
million
also better-
available units.
6 to 8 million units available worldwide.
They better
So,
keep producing because the
oh my God, yeah.
if the rumor right now is or the report right now is that there's only 380,000. We got
No. That's 380,000 that have been shipped. There's going to be way more on
Yeah.
launch day in North and South America, without a doubt.
But I would love that if they're like the Switch 2, blah 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 blah, and it's available right now.
I don't know that
They wouldn't do
They
that.
couldn't.
You can't
That's
shadow drop.
too
You
quick,
can't shadow
man.
drop hardware.
I mean, you could, but it'd be crazy.
Well, also things would leak
It would-
so
yeah.
quickly,
You
right?
wouldn't-
Because people would be
I mean,
like,
look at the
"Oh,
leaks. All these leaks we have now are because Nintendo's
No,
taking this advanced
But
stuff.
if there's retail
Yeah.
locations that have them,
Yeah. Right.
you're not. That's not.
Yeah,
fun
no,
either.
I agree.
And
I agree.
now here's a conundrum. You find out that Target has a whole lot, and it's the only place you can get one. Are you buying it from Target, Walmart,
Well,
Amazon?
I'm putting in a pre-order, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't go to them first.
But what if they're the only ones taking?
Where are
Like,
you-
what if you have to? Will you?
I can only get a Switch 2 at Target.
Yes.
Well, then I'm going to get one at Target. Yeah.
Mm, okay.
I would get the one.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Look, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I'm just being
it's,
silly.
You know, if you went.
It's for
There's
your
plenty of-
job. It's for your job.
There's plenty of things I want right now that.
I mean, it is.
No, like she's saying in a world where there's the only place you could get it, then yeah, that's what I
Right,
would get
I
it. And then everything else I would not get from Target, like
I was having
usual.
this
Well,
conversation
how-
with a colleague who's
I wouldn't-
23, and I was like, "Look, us poor people get a pass once in a while."
Well, honestly, what I would do is if this is the real situation and it's only at Target, we're talking about at launch, I'm trying to get one.
Yeah.
So Target would be my literal only option. If I waited
I was.
a couple weeks, then I could get one. Not
was-
even probably. I
I
could get
was
one
gonna-
that day on eBay or something.
That's what my question was going to be. Would you be willing to wait, say, a month after launch to get one at a retailer that you don't find problematic?
So as a Nintendo fan, it would kill me. I would be every day on eBay or not even Amazon, just
It's like
eBay
when people
looking
need an
for
organ,
one. And
like,
I'd
you
be
put
like,
your- on the back of your car, you put like, if you have a kidney, call this number.
I'd have to put a limit on it. Like if I could get one on eBay for at most
$750.
$150 more than whatever the price is, I'd pull the trigger because it's important to me like that. But if Target is literally the only place as a fan, if I was just doing it from a fan perspective, I would wait to a point. I would at least try and wait to a point. But if I'm like 3 weeks in, you
Right.
know,
Here.
I'd be like, I got to pay $1,000 for this thing.
Listen,
like,
what you do is you go to Target, but before you go and you buy it, you drop a big dump in their bathroom and don't flush it.
so normal Target visit.
Oh well, okay.
Mom brain, you know what I would do. Think like me. What would I do? You'd see a flower at Target and think it was real. Gotcha.
You'd run out of there
No,
if there's
no,
a
no, no.
mouse.
I would take an equal amount of money and donate
Oh,
it to something important,
Sure.
whatever it would be. I don't
mean,
know. I would I would
also-
look into it and be this like
I would
how
also-
close to opposite Target could I get with
I would
mine?
also buy it in cash to be like, look, I don't want this.
No record.
Yeah. Like, and
That's probably what I would do most seriously. Hi, Straight Jeff, and good to see you.
And you'd
I
also
would take
apologize
an
to
equal amount
whoever
of
the
money and
cashier
donate
is.
it between important. I'd talk to you about it and be like, what could we donate to like
Yeah.
make the most impact with our money.
And
so
then
that's
you- and
probably
then
what
you'd
I
write
do,
a
honestly.
Patreon.
I'd pay for
about it.
someone's abortion.
I thought of it. I would do the abortion. I'd do it right there.
Well, I mean, you know, the way things are going.
I'm not a
gonna have to
doctor,
have you
but I
learn
do
how to
know
do
one.
them.
But I
God
can
Name
push
is
you down
Mario.
the stairs.
For free. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. We thought it out live. I would donate equally, and then I'd go get one at Target. That's what it would be.
And then you could return it.
And then
You could buy another one from somewhere better and then return the
I
Target
thought
one
you said I could only get it at Target.
later when it's now available.
accessible.
How long does Target take returns? Though?
Returns? I don't know, but returns
Oh, take that. Take that.
reminds me of that picture. I
30,
sent
30
you
to
the
90
other day.
days at
Reminds me
least,
of
right?
Best Buy.
Well, we got to look up there.
By the way, these are the thoughts of myself and Mom Brain alone. If you want to go buy one wherever you want. We're not
Listen,
telling you
we
what to
also
boycott.
have to
This is an
acknowledge
us
that there
decision.
are-
and we don't think you're a bad person for doing it.
Like there are areas where Walmart and Target are like the only
This
option
is
that
an
are
us
available.
decision.
Yeah.
Yes, we are not saying
And I fully
you do
acknowledge-
whatever you want.
You know, like if we don't have like bajillions of dollars to like throw around, so we do have to like sometimes
Better put an actual number amount on
we
that.
don't have $1 million to throw around, right? So
Man.
sometimes you do have to make that decision.
He's just upset because he didn't know real flour from a fake one.
I'm saving that for the next time you have to dress up and we're gonna make
I'm
that
so
your premiere.
happy we're at a place where we can joke about all this and like actually like I love it.
Yes,
I really do
joking.
love it. But anyway, go buy your Switch 2 at Target on April 2nd when they announce it that day.
Where else are you going to pre-order it from?
I would probably go Best Buy.
Hmm.
Best Buy has been a savior for me a couple of times. I know Deux had good experiences with them as well. Best Buy would probably be my go-to.
Well, they
anyway.
screwed me over on the Kingdom Come Deliverance. That was my latest story about them. But you know,
I think I got my Switch at Best Buy.
My
Oh, sorry, I got my Switch at Best Buy.
my there was a thought in my brain and now it's gone.
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I mean, Nintendo.
Oh, my PS5 pre-order from Amazon didn't go all that well. They got all things screwed up, and then I found
Did
it.
you have to drive somewhere for something?
Not for that. And I did my initial pre-order, and I got all the information, and then a month later they said
canceled
I
it
didn't
on
have one because I was using a different credit card than I usually use, and it didn't like it, but it never told me that. It gave me everything to tell me like a normal order went through, and then it was like, oh, you don't have a pre-order because we stopped the credit card because we didn't know it's not the credit card you usually use. And I was like, why didn't anybody tell me this?
I was just
waiting at the front door for something.
Because I was watching the UPS guy on the app, and he was driving all over, and I was like, "What? He's driving away from the house
I
now?
don't-
What's going on?"
the credit card situation.
And
is
who
a
knew that I
frustrating-
wouldn't even be playing the damn system all these
Oh,
years later?
dear.
Sorry. Anyway,
wow.
What's next in the news?
no, go ahead.
Excuse
Somebody
me.
fix that
Somebody
toilet.
No, I was just the credit card situations are they're frustrating because it's they accept them everywhere, but then like if there is a problem, it's not highlighted.
Oh, they'll take your money.
My
They can.
either my electric or gas bill or whatever. Like I had signed up, I had to switch credit cards. I may have said it on the podcast in the past, but I
But my
had
credit
to-
card number is.
I had to delete, like I deleted the old card because it was worthless, and then I put in the new card information, but I didn't check the little box that said this is the card to use.
Oh,
It's
I
the
hate
only
that.
card in the system,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so it's not a default. So a couple months later, I randomly I let auto pay work, and so I got something in the mail. I was like, you owe like $300. I'm like, why? It's usually like 42 or whatever. It's less than 100. And then I went on and I called them, and they're like, yeah, you haven't been getting charged. And I'm like, well, I have a card in there. And they're like, well, you didn't click it as your primary or whatever. I'm like, I didn't think I need to because it's the only.
It's
There's not a
just the
primary.
primary. It's the only.
Yeah,
Now,
you
recently,
shouldn't have to like.
Shouldn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
recently, all of our utilities went up like by a huge jump, and I had my auto pay set up to cap at a certain number, and it doesn't even cover that now. So I just got another notice of late fees, and I was going to lose my whatever gas. They're going to shut it off,
It's bad.
and I had to check.
Oh, don't worry. Nikki Hill's mom calls you if you're late on
Not
those things
anymore.
before they shut
Not
off.
anymore.
She retired, and that was the only thing she was doing in that
Retired.
job.
She was just watching. She was just watching, and she was like, "Hey," and she does it so sweet.
Oh, I've
She
retired.
does the like, "I won't tell anyone that you're
Mm.
like 6 bills behind." I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay. It's fine."
But yeah, so I was coming up short again, and it's like another thing where they don't really,
I have an Amex
have to
card.
be very on top of it.
I have a whole bunch of Amex
Ooh
cards,
la
but I have
la.
one
My goodness.
that I have to go in and manually pay through my
It's
bank.
black and made out of steel. I don't
That's
know.
that guy.
what-
That's that guy. I always
It's-
wanted to be that guy.
It's Amex. It's not even just American Express. He's on an abbreviation term with them.
Time is money.
I
Time
have
is money.
an Amex card. I have multiple Amex cards, but one of them I have to pay through the bank. I cannot pay. Like I can't set up auto pay.
It's the goal.
Swiss
Every time I
bank.
go in there,
Swiss
I
bank
try to
account.
switch to auto pay, and it won't let me do it. And every month without fail, I'll get an email from American Express saying enroll in autopay. And I go, I would love to, but I cannot because you won't let me. And I talked to customer service and they're like, no, you can't with that card because that existed before the whatever. And I'm like, I know, but it keeps asking me to do it. Can you make it stop? And I go, yes. And it has never stopped for
never
years
I'm
and
always
years and
afraid
years.
to do anything with any cards because I'm afraid it's going to be like, oh, we're shutting the card down. Like
Hi,
I'm afraid to try
Kalas.
to make any changes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when I call like with an issue on billing or something and they go, "Blah, blah, 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 blah. Is that okay with you?" And I'm like, I think so, because one time I agreed to something and they signed me up for something and I was like, why am I getting charged this much more money? It's because, well, you agreed to this. And I'm like, I just said yes because I asked for something. They
I
said
was
they
being
did it.
polite.
It's like the kid in adolescence. He's getting asked all those questions in the beginning. And I'm like, this kid doesn't know what I wouldn't know what I'm saying when they're asking you, do you want this? Do you need this? But cornflake question, I could answer. Yes. Give me the cornflakes. But
Your
that's not right.
cornies.
That's good. Eat your cornies. Anyway, moving on. Nintendo is opening their next store, Nintendo San Francisco. We have a date. We knew this store was coming, but now we have a date. Well, it's very soon. It opens on May 15th. It's this location is opening at 331 Powell Street on the corner of Powell and Geary in Union Square, San Francisco.
Union Square. Right
again,
in the middle of it all.
May 15th. So we have Nintendo NY, Nintendo SF. And it opens May 15th, and people are like, Switch 2 coming out May 15th. Open the day with the store. No. There's no way Nintendo wants to open a brand new retail space and like also handle the launch of a system on the same day. And also, you wouldn't base the launch of a system on the opening of a store in San Francisco.
NSFW.
That's right. We're one letter away. Joe Shabadoo says, nice to finally get confirmation. There's a sweepstakes for a week-long trip to San Francisco, an entry to the grand opening of the My Nintendo site right now. Also, I know I previously said I was confident in a May 22nd Switch 2 release, but now I'm partially convinced it could be as early as the 15th in alignment with this and lots of other things. There's some smoke to hint at fire here, just saying. So Joe Shabadoo is now saying it could be the 15th.
Look, my cousin Sarah and her wife have a beautiful house in San Francisco. We could go.
No, I need to be home to cover that.
I say stick with your May 22nd. Like that's a
Stick
week.
with your wife.
It's a week after the Nintendo store opens. So
iron out the kinks of the store.
yeah.
Sure. Yes, I agree. We also have some more information on the Nintendo Switch Online Playtest program, which you might remember. We are not talking about the specifics because Nintendo said don't share specifics or details or screenshots or videos. And of course, people that got in the test did that anyway, but we're not doing that. What we can tell you is information that is not part of that.
By the way, the thumbnail for this news story is just like so good. It's so creepy, and
It's a historical picture, edited a little bit, but thank you. I love that picture. It's
Mario looking around a curtain.
We know with the playtest program logo behind him. We know now 4 of the people involved with this project. 2 of them are Yusuke Amano and Tsubasa Sakaguchi. They directed the first Splatoon game. We also know that Masaki Wada and Shinya Yano are involved as well, and they worked on Ring Fit Adventure. So we know 2 or 4 prominent developers that are part of this playtest program. Now,
so it's obvious Splatoon Fit Adventure.
Well, my understanding is people that were in the program said they can definitely see the Splatoon influences in art style and stuff like that in the game. So there's that. But we don't know where the game will release or when or how. Could be Switch and Switch 2. Could be only Switch. Could be free to play. Could be a regular retail game. I don't know what's going on, but Nintendo's obviously going to put it out at some point. But now you know some of the developers
on Xbox Series X. Yes.
No, that's other way around. Xbox
failed experiment.
We also have a rumor about something that is official.
A rumor.
So there was an FCC filing from Nintendo once again for a new wireless controller, 2.4 gigahertz band used for wireless play. And that's all we know because the FCC filing has pictures of the controller, but those are kept secret. They will only be shown publicly in September. Now, that doesn't mean we have to wait until September to see them. We could see it next month. But Nintendo, this is standard practice for a lot of companies. They're rating new products that they don't want the public to know about, so the pictures are kept hidden. But there were some diagrams of pieces of the controller, very bare bones. But again, the cream of the crop when it comes to Nintendo fans have taken a little bit of information that is there and measured it against what we know and found something interesting. The FCC filing for this controller, its ID is BKE021.
Oh,
Now,
Burger King.
if you're a top tier Nintendo fan, you know that the BEE code was used for all GameCube related things. So people are like, oh, is this GameCube related? Well, on top of that, the diagram that's in the filing shows where the FCC label would go on the controller. And people took a GameCube controller and overlaid it on top of that diagram to show that the label almost measures up exactly where the FCC label is on the current GameCube controller. On top of all that, we know this new controller does not have NFC technology. So if it is for the Switch 2, it would not be a Pro controller and it would not be the Switch 2 Joy-Con because those have to have FCC tech for scanning in Amiibo. So all these pieces of the puzzle together make it look like a GameCube controller for the Switch 2. Now that could be for two reasons. Number one reason, a Smash Brothers game, they put out a new GameCube controller. Sure, it's happened in the past, although we've seen the release of a new GameCube controller for Smash Brothers Wii U and 3DS, but they also put out the adapter as well. So they could go one of either way. Second thing could be
even better.
Switch games or GameCube games for Switch Online, because we've gotten up to the N64 to this point. People are like, where's GameCube? This could potentially point to, because as we know on the Switch, we've got an NES, a Genesis, a Super Nintendo, and a Nintendo 64 controller for the Switch. So it makes sense if they were to add GameCube games, they would put out a GameCube controller as well.
That would be cool.
Question.
Yeah.
I know no good smart guy. So this picture that you have here is what you're talking about with the overlay.
Yes.
So that thin black line around the edge, that's the black lines here where it says like just that outline, and then where the box that says label.
Yes.
That's what was released
Yes.
or shown.
Yes.
And then the picture of the GameCube controller, somebody else overlaid it. And that's how they get that line up.
Yes.
Because I just feel like that's like
the dimensions of the controller are in the FCC filing, if that's what you're getting at.
Okay, because like
you could just measure, you can fit everything.
You
in
can
there,
scale whatever you're overlaying it with so that it would line up.
But you couldn't do that and have the FCC filing, or you couldn't have the FCC logo fit and be appropriate with the rest of the controller. Like this square represents the controller in this thing. So the controller would have to fit in there. And for that to be possible and the FCC label to be in the correct spot with that box, that wouldn't make sense.
Right. It's just that like that controller doesn't exactly fit in the box. It's overlapping a little bit. So that's why I'm just like, you can scale it and you can change it. Otherwise, I would think like, oh, maybe it's like, if that's a drawing of the thing, then maybe it's a tablet, but it's not a drawing. It's like that
is done on purpose. So you don't have any details about what the controller actually looking like leaking to the public.
Peculiar. Okay.
So again, yes, I understand, there's some shaping, zooming or whatever of the GameCube controller, but still where the logo is on the GameCube controller, that is the only controller that matches up to in that style. The logo on all other controllers would not be in that spot. That's specifically where it is on the GameCube controller. So where it says label in this picture, as you can see, almost matches up perfectly with that.
Even like the Pro controllers and stuff wouldn't really work? That is
correct. It would be Pro controller is lower dead center from what I remember.
Oh, for where the
FCC label is, yes. So all signs point to Switch 2 or a GameCube controller.
There's people there are a lot of smart folks out there who yeah.
Now, not saying it's true, it's all rumor right now. FCC's filing is 100% true. This GameCube stuff is speculation, but based on all these bits and pieces, I believe it. Vin Loria says What?
Do you believe?
I believe.
And then Vin Loria talks about a whole bunch of model prefixes and a whole bunch of letters I'm not familiar with. All right. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. North America. Here we go. What do we got? Let me tell you. Here's what we got. On Your Tail. MLB The Show 25. Ale House Tavern Simulator. Apple Night 2. Attack Hole. Beast Bio Exo Arena Suit Team. Bridge Race and Stacky Dash. 2 games in 1. Cashier Simulator. Content warning, scary filming. That is not related to the actual content warning game. This is a game trying to rip that off. Do not support it. Cyber Quest. Dark Receipt. That is, like a receipt you get at a store.
When if you leave it in the car on a hot day, and then the whole thing is
That's
just
right.
completely
Goes
dark.
The PC8801 Mark II version of Super Xenon Gamma 5. Endless Deaths. Escape from Mistwood Mansion. Escape Site 13. Expelled. Forest Ranger Life Simulator. Glow Pop. Hike Haven. Hyper Mirror Run. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon? Full Land of Water and Light. Believe it or not, dude, that's an anime game.
Oh.
Island Rescue. Just Axe.
That's a rhetorical question, I guess.
Well, you got to play the game to find out.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? That is a manga and anime.
No.
And you watch the show and you decide.
Oh, I just
Is it
saw
wrong?
a new anime. We'll talk later.
No, we can't do after my list.
Oh, it's based on. So there's a book, and I forget the name of the book, but it's
book.
It's,
I was just
you just told me to go after your list. Keep going. Sorry.
Don't forget it. Kineku Neko, Super Muscle Cat. K-pop idols dating anime love for B7T. Don't know what that is. Lost Oasis. Love Colors and Calm Colors. Mini Football Cup. One Button Boss. Party Arcade Enhanced Edition. Public Transport Simulator 2. Quiz 50 Ways to Read the Kanji. Ringo's Roundup. Royal Romances Forbidden Magic Collector's Edition. S Prism Destroyer. Sakura Haven. Scrap Divers. Snails vs. Humans. The Hungry Lamb. Tinkertown. Tiny Lands and Not a Brain Buster. Wine Factory Simulator, and finally, Witchroidvania, a magical girl's fantastical adventures. There's your North American releases. Anime, talk to me.
Is there a comment?
Oh my God, I'm so excited about anime. I forgot. Sticer says, I'll put up with these North American releases as long as it means I'm treated to some sweet, sweet European releases, perhaps by the incomparable Nicky Hill.
I'll try to do what I can. So the movie with Tom Cruise, Edge of Tomorrow,
Yes,
is based
All
on
You
a
Need Is
novel,
Kill,
I
yes.
guess. Yeah, and they're
Finally.
doing. And so there's been a TV series, I guess, or no, a
No,
manga.
it's
There's been
coming-
a manga, a comic book, and now they're doing a full.
Now it's finally coming out as an anime. Yeah, with the trailer looked awesome.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. So, yes, no date or anything, but officially announced. So that's very cool. Yes, for those who don't know, that movie, which had 2 names, was based on manga.
And what was the name of the
Edge of-
manga?
Wait, it was based on a manga or it was based on a book?
I thought it was based on a manga. I could be wrong. It was based on something Japanese to begin with. I know that for a fact. The name of the Japanese one is All You Need Is Kill.
Oh,
You know, I would have thought that was a dumb name, but then you hear Edge of Tomorrow, and you're just like, you know what?
Or Live,
Live,
Die, Repeat.
like way worse. It's like, you know what?
Which is so
you need
weird.
All You Need
kill.
Is Kill is a Japanese science fiction light novel. So there you go. It's a light novel.
What does that mean?
Like
a novella? Oh, okay.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Here's your official Google AI definition. A light novel is a type of short, popular Japanese novel, also often featuring manga-style illustrations. There you go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Josh Grobot. We're at the week of March 13th, the year of our Lord 2025. Europe, you got games that are coming out, and I'm gonna give them to you. Well, I'm not gonna give them to you, but I'm gonna tell you the list, and then you can decide what you buy or not. And in classic GoNintendo fashion, raw meat is a peeing during the European. Oh, he's also filling up his bottle so he can pee in more. All right, so here we go. You know, Cue the music.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Deuce's version was just really nice.
It's very convincing.
Of our Lord.
Thank you, Mom Brain. Thank you, Josh Robot. Thank you, Do Michaels.
You're
No,
welcome.
thank you to the Mr. P and Man. 3D, Don't Die, Mr. Robot. Apple Knight 2. I didn't even know there was an Apple Knight 1. Anyway, Beast. Bio Exo Arena Suit Team. Oh, Beast is what is that? It's not an abbreviation. What is it? All the letters of Beast are the words in this here. You know what I mean?
Acronym?
Acronym. That would be it. I told you I know smart guy. Be brave, Barb.
That's alliteration.
Hey.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Beyond the Ice Palace 2. Cash Guardian. Collector Operation Capital Defense. That's just a string of words that don't have anything to do with each other. Cashier Simulator. Oh, man. We got a couple of cash games coming out. And another one. Centum. Hardly know him.
Oh.
Or maybe Kentum. I don't know. Content warning. Scary filming. Raw Meat says that is game ripping off other game, so be aware. The PC 8801 Mark II SR version of Super Xenon Gamma 5. Endless Deaths. Escape Site 13. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? I'm reading the European ones, yeah. Full Land and Water and Light. I don't know. Bunch of words again. Just Acts. K-pop idols dating. Anime love for B7. Kamikaze Last Planes. Is that we talked about that one last week?
That's right.
Korean drone flying tour Ganghwa-do. All right. Mechanic Supermarket Simulator. I don't understand this. Do mechanics have to go to their own separate supermarket? Mini Football Cup.
Sounds delicious.
Morehun Kart 4. One
They misspelled Mario Kart.
one BTN bosses. Or
One
what is
button
it?
bosses.
One button bosses. On Your Tail. Party Arcade Enhanced Edition. Pixel Game Maker Series Rocket Frog. Public Transport Simulator 2. Puzzle of Love. Building My Heart.
Oh, getting choked up reading it.
Quick Quack. Quiz 50 Ways to Read the Kanji. Ringo's Roundup.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Sugar Dew Island. Tiny Lands and Not a Brain Buster.
Sugar Dew. That's my other nickname.
Oh, sugar dewy.
Trap Yuri Garden. Wheel of Words.
Wheel of Words.
Crossword. Witchroidvania. A Magical Girl's Fantastical Adventures. Is this a Metroidvania? Or is it just in the title? They're messing with you. I don't know. And last but not least, I think maybe World Flag Master.
Is there a comment, Nikki?
Steister has left a comment. Steister says, "No one does it like you, Mr. Hill."
So confident that you would kill it that they left that comment 2 days ago. That's how
Well,
confident they are.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of your love and support. Your peace, love, and support.
And
Peace
that's
and
the
love.
top stories. Mom Brain, what have you been playing?
Hello Kitty,
Ooh.
baby.
How's it going?
It's been great. It's been really, really
Anything
great.
you'd like to add?
Nope, just lots of fun.
Okay.
Real chill.
Nikki Hill, what have you been playing?
Dying to talk about this.
Nothing.
I played
Q-less.
Donkey Kong 94.
You did?
And let me tell you,
Wow.
you rave about it. I can't get past the third section of the first level, and I'm not enjoying it as much as you.
Are you using
No,
Traditional
I've
saves.
just been
traditional
trying.
saves?
I've just been trying to play it, and I'm struggling horrendously. So, not for everyone. Doesn't mean I'll stop, but I might just stop. I gave it a try.
How much time did you put into it?
I think I played it for like 45 minutes, like far longer than I should have, considering, the structure of each level and how simple it is, simple in quotes, like,
What's the third one? The girders and the flames?
that might be no, is that the fourth one?
I don't remember.
I also don't know how to defeat Mr. Kong when you get to the top. I got to the fourth. I got to the fourth one,
Oh.
and I'm swinging a hammer at him. Doesn't do anything. I
you
get
have
up
to
to
take out all the things on the you
But they
walk
kept-
across those things and
The
make gaps
girders,
and all
baby.
they all fall down.
Well, I mean, I defeated a bunch and they kept respawning and stuff. So
No. It's not that you're walking over the things that disappear.
There's like girders, and when you
Yeah.
walk by them, you pick them up, I guess.
Okay.
So you didn't walk over all of them. Once you walk over the last one, then the whole thing collapses.
Oh, see, there's no explanation of that. Like, how am I supposed to know that's supposed to be? I thought it was just a disappearing platform to make it harder for me. That's all.
No, I think and I'm not saying this to knock you. I think they were thinking people played Donkey Kong and they knew that's what happened in Donkey Kong. That's my guess.
Never played more than one level of Donkey Kong because I can't get past it. When I see a barrel, I want to get crushed by it, I guess, because that's what I'm good at.
Well, now that you know it's not a situation.
Never
of
said I was a good gamer.
punching or hammering Donkey Kong. Now you can easily get past that level.
We won't say easily, but yeah, we'll see.
And then
We'll
it
see what
all
happens.
changes.
Does it get better? I guess you say it does.
Well, seeing as how you haven't really officially started the game, I would say it gets
What do you mean? I
better,
didn't even
yes.
start the game.
I mean, you're playing like pretend right now.
What? How could you, like, you look at me right in the eyes and you're just saying I'm pretend playing the game?
I'm being serious. This isn't a joke or a bit. I'm being serious. Like you have not. You're like in the prologue, I guess you would call it. You're in like regular Donkey Kong.
That sounds horrendous for me. I've put almost like an hour into it and I haven't even gotten to the title screen. This is going to be a great experience. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get more games like this, Nintendo. Get me out of here. If I had a microphone on me, I'd take it off and throw it on the table and say, play us out. This effing thing sucks. That's how I felt playing.
Feel
that
better
game.
now?
No.
Okay, keep going.
I burned, like, I died. Like full on death, need to continue multiple times. And now you're telling me I didn't even get to the title screen. Also,
I know you said that. I didn't say that.
you just said I didn't even start playing the game. I said I'm pretend playing the game.
Yeah, you're at. If I had to guess, or if I had to come up with something for it, I'd say you're at the prologue. It's not like you're not at the title screen or anything, but like you haven't gotten to what the game is yet.
Okay, I'm pretend playing the game. That makes me feel good. I've spent an hour playing something.
I did not mean to offend you
Well-
with what I said. I take it back. I apologize.
No,
I didn't
I
mean it in
mean,
a negative way.
I can't even imagine what the real game is like if this is the hard time I'm
That's
having
why
on
I'm
the
trying
pretend
to avoid.
version.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you get to is different from what you're doing. I mean, not like
I'm sorry I
wildly
can't
different,
experience
but
it the same way you did, like the raving review and how it's the best game in history or like one of your top 5 or whatever. And
I just want to say this. I've played through the game once already. You're just getting started. So maybe you should hang on to those thoughts until you go further in the game.
maybe.
We'll just have to wait and see.
I just have to work my way up from being pretend gaming to real gaming. I don't know.
When I said pretend gaming, I meant like, which I used later,
Yeah, I haven't
prologue.
gotten to
I
the
like it's the
prologue.
pretend part of the game, not like you're playing a pretend game. It's like the game is pretending to be this, but then it becomes what it is.
So that's a completely different explanation or understanding of from
Well,
what you had said.
That's that's why I better explained it.
I haven't tried it, but just from what you were saying last week, it seemed like it was a head fake.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that it starts out and you're like, oh, I'm playing Donkey Kong on the Game Boy. Isn't this
Yes,
great? And then all of a
exactly.
sudden it's like, oh wow, it's its own thing.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
I
That's
thought
how
I
meant
thought it was going to continue being that, but evolve within that.
Well,
And-
traditional Donkey Kong is still part of it, yes. But what you're like, even the main goal in the levels is different from what you're doing right now. It's much more puzzle platformer than what you're doing right now. But yes, Dude's right. It's a head fake. Like you haven't got out of the head fake part yet.
And that's where that won't land with me because I'm so frustrated with what I'm doing now. I'm already out of my head. So like that's where it gets to be an experience.
Yeah, I mentioned last week that I am awful at Donkey Kong games. Doesn't matter if it's country or original, and it's kind of like a black mark on my gaming record in a way because I don't enjoy. I mean, they're beloved games, and they've inspired so many other different games and things like that. And they're just not for me, you
Even
know.
country
And
games, you know, like
I cannot. It's not that I don't like them. I cannot play them for the life of me, and I've never had fun enough to like try to like push through even harder. So yeah, it's me who's missing out on those games, but they've just never clicked with me. I want to try this Game Boy one just because I think it's probably good to try it, but like I'm not putting a lot of hope in my skills in Donkey Kong. Like I've just never been good at it. And it's not that it's like the hardest game in the world. I'm just not good at it.
I just
Hi,
had
Eli.
like one
Or Ellie.
experience was like I'm jumping around on platforms and stuff, and then I went to make one jump, and all of a sudden Mario rolled, and I'm like, that didn't happen in all the other jumps that I made, and now it's affecting me where I can't even get to where I want to be because I'm falling to my doom.
Oh, okay.
You know, because of this other, like, you know, this motion or whatever, the momentum that I have, and it just, I don't know, and I think part of it too is that like I was playing it because I was expecting the best game ever, and I like was not my experience, and I'm sorry that I put an hour or close to it into that game and it didn't land, and like it just put a sour taste in my heart. And
I don't think that's how tastes work, but all right.
yeah,
I mean, I know how you. I think I know how you feel a little because I felt similarly with Undertale, because I was like kind of underwhelmed personally by the game, and it's one of those things that everybody
but
just
that was,
loves.
I mean, I'm just in the
So
start
it's-
of it. You played through the whole game and had that feeling at the end, like it affected you at the end.
But it still hurts. It almost
Yeah.
hurts more because it's like it's this game that I know is this huge kind of like watermark in a way for the industry.
Silver. That took me a second. That is very funny. That is very funny. Is that the third level you're stuck on, Nicky?
that's the first level, yeah.
But it's the third level up in the stage. That's the
Oh.
joke. That's really funny. I was looking at it. I was like, that's the first stage. What's he
All right,
talking about?
let's be real. I did not get to the fourth level until I had to continue at least once. I'm not.
Hey, I
good
got
at
a
this
question.
game.
I let you do all this. Who gives a crap? Who gives a crap?
I do. Like I want to play the game. I want to have that experience. It's like people love it, and I want to try. I want to enjoy it, and I am so bad at it that I can't even get past the first level.
So start using rewind.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think of that, and I also don't want to just lean on that as a crutch. Like, I don't know, man. These things shouldn't be that hard, should they? Like,
Everybody's easy as somebody else's hard.
yeah.
Mm.
What have you been playing, Do? Because this Donkey Kong played me. So what have you been playing?
I played Animal Crossing New Horizons. It was Molly's birthday this week, so I brought her. She's my little duckling.
What'd you get her?
I got her a frilly dress.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that
Put
was
this
nice.
on for me, baby.
Yeah, you know, she didn't put it on actually. What's cute about this game is so cute, but like when it's their birthday, you go in and like there's always one other villager like and they're dancing around a cake and the birthday girl or boy is like dressed up, you know, and so I gave her the frilly
You're
dress.
the birthday.
Yeah. And because she was dressed, you know, for her birthday, she didn't try it on, but don't matter. It's still really cute. I love doing that. And they always say something funny too about a present. Like they always want a present, so you better like show up with a present there. But anyways, so
Sorry, I didn't know that was going to have audio.
It's okay. Played some Fortnite, which is fun. There's been an update this week, so there's like a cool new rocket drill that shoots you around the map, and there's a couple of cool new guns and stuff, and Fortnite is fun. It's really great because we talk about Fortnite all the time, but every single season has got something for everybody. You know what I mean? Like a couple seasons ago, I felt like I was that Mad Max season with like the rocket rams and stuff like that.
Hi, Steister. Yes.
Or with the fists.
The most hated season that we
the
loved.
most hated season. That for me, I felt like I was so good at that season. Like I was like really into that season. And as much as I've loved the season since, I haven't like been as skilled as I was, I feel, in that season. And then there's our buddy who plays with us, and he's like a huge like assault rifle guy. He's like got a really great shot, a great eye. And this season he's been playing great. I've even told him a couple of times how well he's been playing, and he's felt it too. And he's like, this is my favorite season because it's geared towards all of his personal skills. So that's what's one cool thing about Fortnite is it changes. It stays fun, at least in my experience, for everybody. But there's different things that you can excel at or not. But yeah, we've been having a lot of fun talking about honeycombs and everything. If you go to Deux Views, you know what I'm talking about. And then this was funny. I played some more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 this week. I tried that fix that we were talking about last week where you go, basically on the second map, I was having trouble with loading times being so long and fast traveling taking forever and things like that. It did not work.
I'm sorry.
So it's okay. I wanted, part of me wanted to believe it, so we tried it. Didn't work. They did come up with the update. This is so funny.
I saw that.
I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance and now 2 for probably 3 months straight now, like almost 3 months straight. And literally, like every single day I've played a little bit. The one day this week that I stopped playing the game, that's the day that the update came out. And now I can't get back into the game because like one day off is all it takes for me to like lose interest in something. So and like I don't want to say lose interest, but like it was my second time through this huge game. I've been playing the crap out of it, so I've enjoyed it. But like, so of course I went in just for fun to check out the update, and they added a barber, so I like updated my hairstyle.
I almost texted you because of the whole barber thing. I was like, he's got to know though.
Oh, I know. Yeah, thank you though. I was on top of it right away. Changed my hair, gave him a little beard, so now my Henry is looking really awesome to stay to never be played again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just the first update. I mean, when actual DLCs launch, those I will be playing, so I'll be eventually getting back into it. But yeah, it was funny. The day I stopped is the day that the update came out. But the reason I stopped is because I started playing something else. I had a hankering to play another game that I had played before, and I downloaded
Resident Evil.
No.
Red Hat Redemption.
No. Hotline Miami Collection.
Oh.
So this is another funny thing. So I've had this Hotline Miami Collection on my Switch since it came, like, who knows, a couple of years now, and I've played the first game. I find this game very, very challenging, and there's something that frustrated me about this game when I first started playing it, and I've played it twice before this time through, and I've never beaten it. Like I got a little bit further each time, and there was something that I liked about it, but I couldn't put my finger on it because I found it so frustrating, and it was like everything else that's the antithesis of my gaming. So I don't know what made me want to. It's a cathartic kind of experience. I don't know, at least for me it is, because there's a lot of violence in it.
Kicking open those doors into people is so much fun.
So I decided, you know what, I want to buck around and mess around with this game again. So I downloaded it, and I started playing it, and I just like this time for some reason, like I always liked it, even though I never finished it. I fell in love with this game, like story and gameplay this time around. And then when I was finished,
Finished. You beat it.
yes, forgive me. Yes.
Hey!
So I beat the game, and I was like, and I scoured it, like I replayed it and got all like the puzzle pieces, and then I got the secret ending, and I was like, this is great. Like, why did I find this so tough before? But here's the thing, it still was tough and challenging, but there was something that I was enjoying that made me push my way through it. Whereas when we talk about this Donkey Kong game, I don't have the same kind of fun level doing a Donkey Kong Country or a regular game to like push through the
If
challenge.
Mario had a
'Cause that's what it comes
machine gun,
down to.
perhaps.
Maybe.
Hey, Donkey Kong, he led.
Switch to.
I think it's just like, because that's what it kind of comes down to. Like if you're enjoying the experience, then you could put yourself. Then the challenge is like the fun, like overcoming the challenge is the fun, and so I did that, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if the Switch has Hotline Miami 2. I never even played it, and it's like I looked up. It's like 10 years old. Didn't even know. But then I look closer, and it's like they say they have it, but I can't find it. I like couldn't find it. Hotline Miami collection, idiot. Like it's part of the game already. And I go so
you had bought the collection?
Like that's the
so you had
version
it.
I've been playing all these years, and I never even thought to in the menu screen just go
Hotline
down
Miami
one.
collection with Hotline Miami 1.
And like there's a clear screen where it's like you choose which game you want, and I had to do that every time I've played, and I never even
You chose the one on the top. You didn't have
never
to.
even put it together, and it's not uniform. That's my problem, because I want, when I see something like that, I want like the same art style for the menu screens, and I want the same font, and of course it wasn't the same, so I was like, who knows what this is down here? You know, just like my eyes didn't see
guess
it.
we'll never
It was like
know.
camouflage. It was like camouflage for all these years. Anyways, so I was like, oh my God, I've got this whole game now. So I started playing Hotline Miami 2, and I really, really enjoy it. I mean, it's essentially the same thing, and yet not really. Like the gameplay's almost exactly the same. It's just you play as different characters throughout the story, and you get to a point where I kind of missed the uniformity of the one guy and pick your mask, and each time is like a separate challenge.
Yeah.
Where here it's kind of like you only get one character because it's story driven. It's not like you get to choose anything. So it's like this character does this level, and then this character does this level, and there's nothing that changes really about that. So while that kind of felt a little hamstrung a little bit, you still have, the game's like twice as big. There's plenty more of that gameplay that you like, and then the story itself is so interesting and dystopian and dark, and the soundtrack is excellent, and it's just, I don't know, I'm having a real ball with the second game. I've only got a couple of levels left. I'm like right at the end, so I am enjoying it a lot. It's kind of giving me more of what I wanted, but yeah, I don't know. It's like it's some intense stuff. I feel like I missed the boat back in the day when these came out, because I think they were like a big deal.
Well,
and like
you are on the boat now.
Yeah, I really don't know. And I was trying to look
Isn't
up.
there another game that's coming out like that?
Well, apparently there's been tons of like
There are
ripoffs.
tons of games like it.
They're all like ripoffs. I've even saw one where like characters are wearing like animal masks while you're doing it. And I
There's
was
one
like, how
called
is this?
Zebra Man. That's like, I think it's out now, and it looks
There was
very
something-
similar.
Like a couple weeks ago when Kirby was here, you were talking about a game that you said was a dual stick shooter.
Well, yeah, it's not like Hotline Miami, but it's
I mean, I can't say that just anything that's dual stick is going to be exactly like that game.
It's just so funny that I wonder what I was even doing when I played through the game the first time. Like, I don't think I was paying attention or anything, because
Star of Providence. That's the one.
there's so much storytelling that happens in Hotline Miami. I mean, there's plenty of storytelling with people talking, but there's a lot of storytelling that just happens by you looking at the screen after each mission and just being like, what's different in your apartment? And that tells you a bunch about what's happening. So man, I was was just like really blown away this second time through. I feel like I was blind when I was playing it. I'm still, the first times, like I still had a good time when I was doing it then. I just didn't get into it enough to see past what it looks like on the surface and find out what it really is.
Maybe you've grown or matured or something,
Maybe.
but you've like over the past couple of years, you have said so many things, and you've been much more like analytical with things. Like you just said that you look at your apartment and like it tells a story with things that have changed. I don't pick things up like that. Like even talking to you about TV shows or movies and stuff that we watch, you pick up on things where I'm just like, oh, I just thought this was their character. Like this is what they do. And you're talking about how like interested you are for future episodes because of what has developed with this character or that character. So I think that's maybe lending to that. Like maybe that's partially why, because you're picking up on things differently or you're reading things differently. So maybe it's just a whole different experience because of where you are. But I respect that. I appreciate it. And I envy it a little bit, but let's not, I mean, you're not my therapist. So
I honor you and I honor our friendship and I honor our love.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, thanks. I've been trying, as I grow up and keep growing up
just a little more, you'll be a bear.
Yeah, I try to like, find like that balance or like find the fun or interests in different things. And I don't know, I guess I'm changing, but hopefully for the better, as long as I can keep at it and be cognizant of it. But yeah, so anyways, I'm absolutely loving it. It's got one of the best soundtracks, especially the second game. Like the first game's soundtrack is so awesome. And then the second game, you're like, well, it'll never be as good. And it's just as good. Like every song is just as good. It just gives you, and the vibes that you get from the music alone, along with like
really elevates that game.
The presentation of how it looks. Like if there was a game on the Super Nintendo that looked like this, holy crap. Or if this game was on Super Nintendo and I was a boy.
Yeah, there's
like,
definitely games that
blown
look
me
like
away.
that, or definitely same style games. I mean,
You don't
Smash
control
TV controls very much the same.
That's a good point. But yeah, man, lots of fun.
Did you play so I'm talking about, I played Donkey Kong. You played Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami.
Oh, George, calm down there.
Tell me more.
Did you play the hybrid of the two called My Friend Pedro?
Yes.
Okay.
My Friend Pedro is really fun. I liked that game a lot.
That was a game that I could play because it was dual stick, but at the same time, I guess the side scrolling made it more easy for me. More unharding for me. But yeah, that was a blast to play. I would say go to that next, but you've already done it.
Yeah, I've got My Friend Pedro on the Switch as well. I think I played it around the same time as I played Hotline, like back in the day. But yeah, so I'm glad. I mean, it took a long time. The game was out for a number of years before I even played it once or twice. And now it's been over 10 years and it finally clicked with me. So, the gameplay was fun, but there's so much more than just the gameplay. And I'm glad that I got to experience it.
Nicky Hill, I've got great news for you. You brought up My Friend Pedro. That developer is putting out his new game very soon called Shotgun Cop Man.
Okay.
Look up a trailer for Shotgun Cop Man. I'm sure you're going to like it. I know I'll be getting it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was actually so impressed with Hotline Miami that I looked up Donation Games. I think it's called Donation Games or something, and tried to find out what else they made. And I guess I don't know how to use Google because I couldn't figure anything out. So congratulations to those guys. It's been 10 years. Hopefully you're still making games. And thank you for listening. And RMC, what have you been playing?
Thanks for asking. I have played Fortnite, as you know. And I played a little bit more Mario's Picross. But outside of that, I shifted over to one new game, and it's one I've been waiting for. It was Wander Stop, which is a game I shared my excitement for as soon as it was revealed. As we said earlier in the show, it's made by the guy who did the Stanley Parable and music from the guy who did the music for Minecraft. I just really liked the idea of the game as far as the story was trying to tell, because it looked like it was talking about trauma and PTSD and like your purpose in life and all this, but it was mixed in with a coffee or a tea shop management gameplay mechanic. And I do not play any of those simulators management games. I'm not interested in that mechanic at all. If somebody was like, you really got to play this game, it's amazing, I would give it a shot, but I don't have anybody in my life who's trumpeting those kind of experiences. So I'm not playing them. And I don't like those management kind of games, resource management or whatever, just, stress me out because I don't have to worry about like getting this customer this thing, and I don't have to, it's like busy work in a game, and I don't like that, where it's like, oh, I got to sweep up, I got to make the tea, I got to go do this, I got to collect the things, I got to plant the blah, blah, blah. But I was like, I'm so interested in the story with this game, I'll give it a try. So I'm about 4 hours into it, I think, and the soundtrack is unmistakably done by the Minecraft guy. It sounds very similar, but it's completely different, but his hallmarks are there. It's a gorgeous soundtrack. The story is really phenomenal so far. You are this girl who is known for being a fighter, and she was fighting in an arena, all these battles, and she went undefeated for 3 years, and then she was defeated, and she kind of lost herself, and she trained and went back and got defeated again and kept getting defeated. So she set out on a mission
She
to go.
tried and she failed.
That's right.
She
She
tried and
tried
she
to go find her mentor to be trained by them all over again. And she's like, I just need to, once I get to my mentor, I'll tell them what's going on, and I'll get trained by them, and I'll get back to it, and I'll climb my way back up through the ranks. And she's running through the forest to try and find her mentor, and her sword becomes incredibly heavy to the point where she can't carry it anymore, and she decides to leave it behind and keeps running through the forest, and then she gets incredibly tired and passes out, and she wakes up in this forest with like this tea shop with this guy called Boro, and he's like, hey, I found you out in the woods and I brought you out here. It looked like you were having some trouble. No.
Where's the forearms? Is it 6
Goro
arms?
had 4 arms, right? Yeah, 4. And he's like, you're free to go whenever you want. It just looked like you were having some trouble. And he's like, I'm just running this tea place out here, and if you want to hang out, I could show you how to make tea, and you could help me out. And at that point in the game, you're free to do whatever you want. Like, you could go back out into the forest and you'll see how that plays out, or you could decide, you know what, I'm going to stay here and see what this is all about. So obviously it becomes a tea making resource management setup where you are playing for the story to learn about this girl. And the guy Boro that owns the tea shop is like, listen, you do whatever you want when you want to do it. He's like, you could go pick tea leaves and dry them. You could go plant flowers to make different kinds of teas with different fruits. You can go collect these mushrooms for teas. You could take tea orders from people. You could go clean up the area, like sweep up and get stuff. You can talk to the people that come in. He's like, you do it on your own schedule. So the game makes it very clear. It's like, here are the things you can do, but there's no like, hurry up and get this done. You do it whenever you want, take whatever time you want. And some of these things you don't even have to do. So that is nice. But still, if you want to progress in the game, you got to make people tea. And making tea isn't as straightforward as just making them tea. Somebody's like, I want this tea, and it has this thing.
If I hear tea one more time,
you have to plant plants for leaves that you'll brew, and then you'll plant fruit trees to get fruit for certain beverages that people want.
warm beverages?
They don't have to be.
Oh.
And then you're talking
beverages.
Yes, steeped. You'll talk to these people, and they'll tell you parts of their stories, or try and get information out of you. And everybody's very different. And the tea contraption, is like a giant, massive thing inside this house. It's not like you go put it in a regular teapot and you make it. It's like a thing you have to climb a ladder to throw. Or like you have to stomp on a bellows to boil the water, and then you have to like open up this chute and transfer the water, and then you got to open up this big
Hoop
pot
chute.
and throw in these ingredients, and then you got to go down to the bottom and pour it out perfectly. What?
That's how tea is made.
Just 1 second, real quick. Sorry. Eat It Joe's 07 said they just finished their community day steps for the first time and they needed the kudos. So congratulations.
Congratulations!
You got
Great
there.
job. You did it. Now,
Or more.
whatever you want to do it. You deserve it. Relax. Go eat something.
You are a real hero.
Carb up.
Take it easy. Take it easy is the important one. Take it easy. So
luck.
yeah, you make tea in this weird contraption, and then life goes on. So you learn about yourself. You learn about yourself and other people, and the story.
Read the tea leaves. No, it's not.
In one circumstance, kind of.
Oh, guy.
But it's very interesting. The
Yeah.
characters are really cool, and the text boxes for the characters. Everybody makes like different sound effects when their text pops up. So like, there's a knight, and when you're talking to the knight, every time a word pops up, it's got like a metal rustling noise, like metal rubbing
Wow.
on metal. It's like it's
How's
cool.
the knight take his tea?
What did he want? His first cup
Dark?
of tea, he said anything. He's like, I'm down with anything. And then after that, he wanted a specific fruit in it. I forget what it was.
Now, what happens if
King's fruit.
you pick a flower to make tea out of, and it turns out that it's a plastic flower?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say that wouldn't be a problem because I literally made one tea that was just hot water and a book. Because it was someone who had never had tea before because they're not allowed to have tea. And I asked them, well, what kind of tea do you want? Or whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. And she was like, book tea? Is that a thing? And my answers were like, book tea, you're an idiot. That's not a thing. Or like another one was like, I don't think that would be very good. And the other one was like, oh, well, I guess we could give it a try. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. So I made them book tea, which was just hot water with any book that I wanted to throw into it. And I threw in a book and they drank it and they were like, it has notes of like crime and mystery. And that's what the book was about. So there you go. I'm sure you could put a
Notes. You get it? Notes.
That's right.
Wow.
It has
So,
notes in
I'm
the
sure you could put a
margins.
plastic flower in there.
Yeah,
But,
right. She just was cheap, brought her own tea bag, asked for hot
Oh,
water.
nobody has to pay for tea at this place at all.
Oh, really?
It is not. There's no money in this
I-
tea place. You just come and
I
they.
take it back.
Boro says you ask them if they want tea. If they want it, you make it. If they don't, they don't.
This
It's
place
like
is
nobody has to
never
do
gonna
anything.
last. in
Says
this
nobody
economy.
has to do anything. If they just want to come here and relax, they don't have to buy anything. It's totally fine. So
Sounds like that pizza place that didn't have all its permits yet. That's why they're not charging you.
yeah, there's obviously something
Illegal.
more going
Or-
on here
or
that you learn
John
about
Bon
as,
Jovi's restaurant.
as the game goes on, and then as you're talking to people in the game, they eventually like get quiet and they don't say things anymore. And there's a mystery about that, and it's not explained to me yet. But like you talk to Boro and you're like, Boro, these people won't talk to me anymore. And Boro's like, well, go do this thing and think about this when you do it, and maybe that'll give you some answers. I don't want to spoil it too much. There's a whole bunch going on in the story. But
in one of those cases, they drank book tea, which probably like leached out chemicals from the glues
don't
that are
you worry,
holding that
because
book.
I talked to
book tea.
Boro about it first, and he said it would be okay. So,
Oh. What we don't know yet is that Boro is a serial killer.
we don't know. Boro seems on the up and up, but that could be the case. So yeah, story has taken very interesting turns. It's just I really do enjoy the game. I just don't like the resource management part of it. I don't like all the simulation stuff.
But
That's
it's
just not for
handled
me
in
because
such
it's
like
like
a gentle way.
it is. There's no like
time
constraint, but there is like if you need seeds to plant for certain plants to turn into tea, if you like you have to plant them in a certain way to make it grow the way you want, and then if you run out of those, you have to go find them somewhere else. And so that I haven't had that happen because I'm so worried about it. I make sure I grow one plant first that gives me a whole bunch of that type of seed. So I stock up, and then I'm like, okay, if I make a mistake, then it's not a big deal. But I'm just not into that whole part of it. But I'm very
what
into
you want
the
to do when
story.
you're managing resources, right?
That's right. I'm learning to
So you're
manage
doing
my
right.
resources well.
Forgive me if you mentioned this in the beginning. Why are you playing this game? I didn't mean it for any. Like I'm not.
The
trying to be a
first
jerk.
trailer blew me away, and the people tied to it, I'll play anything that they do. So the first trailer literally gave me goosebumps based on the story. It was all story related. And it was like whatever event it was shown at, that was my trailer for the whole event. I was like, that's top notch. That's the one I want to play. And as I learned more about it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a management game. But I was like, I'm way too interested in the story. I'll give it a try. That's what I said. I need people trumpeting these experiences for me to be like, okay, I'll do something that I personally probably wouldn't pick up. But that trailer was enough for me to be like, whatever genre this is, I'm going to play this game.
What's it called?
I want to.
Still Wanderer?
Nope. Wander Stop. It's on Xbox and PlayStation.
Oh, it's not even available on the Switch.
Not on Switch. It could be on Switch. I'm sure. I'm gonna guess it'll go to Switch too. They'd rather do that. It's my own guess, not based on anything.
I'm apprehensive to ask because even your answer can kind of give it away, and
Please ask.
But is there something in the gameplay or in the experience that's very, I guess, indicative or whatever of that game designer? Is there something about it where like the game
You have multiple answers to questions.
is onto you?
If you're looking for an experience similar
It's
to the
not-
Stanley
not that it is
Parable,
the
I would
Stanley-
say no.
Okay.
But
You don't
writing quality wise,
you don't get a
yes.
feel at all that like the game is playing you in some way.
It's very clear there are things going on in the story that are more than what they seem, but I don't get that feeling. No, I don't think it's going to go in that direction at all. But
'Cause
it
I
is
don't know all this
his
stuff.
writing style comes through in this, certainly. Like it's excellently written, wonderful personality on characters, very like detailed personas. Like, yeah, you can see like he's got a real knack for writing and his hallmarks are there. But as far as getting that kind of an experience out of it, so far, I would say no. I take it as more straightforward narrative adventure. But yes, greatly enjoying it. And there are moments when I'm out in the forest and I'm like clipping thorned branches or like sweeping up leaf piles where I'm like, this is kind of nice. I'm like, I don't have to do this, but I'm doing it because I want to. And it's just, I'm like out in the forest, kind of like just taking it easy. Take it easy. So that's what I'm playing. I don't think it's expensive. I think it was like $20 or $25. Hope it comes to Switch. Hope it comes to Switch too as well. But yeah, it's not my type of game mechanically speaking for the most part, but very much my type of game story-wise and adventure-wise. So I'm enjoying it. Good stuff.
Cool.
Yes?
I had a question that's not related to this game.
Sure.
There was a trailer this week for Silent Hill F.
I watched it.
Do you think that's going to be announced for the Switch too?
I don't know what that. That was in development long before. That game's been in development for a long time. So if it comes to Switch 2, it'll be down the road. I honestly don't know.
I'm just trying to think of like some of these big, AAA games or the big name games.
I'm
that
sure
are
at
gonna
the
be
April 2nd
shocked
Direct there will be.
Yeah.
Third-party support is gonna. It's been great on Switch, but I'm sure you're gonna see some big name stuff announced there. Yeah. All right, that's it. Let's do questions. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com. goninpod@gmail.com.
I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Joe Shabadoo says, right? Yes. Joe Shabadoo says, hey, all, I have a question that I'm sure will be met with various responses and hopefully stimulate some good discussion here.
Oh boy.
Oh.
When you're spectating someone playing through a game and notice that they are struggling, stuck somewhere, or simply happen to miss something that seems important to progression, at what point and what degree do you feel it is appropriate to chime in? This can be a very sensitive subject for many, and understandably. When watching streams, the host will often place something in their general viewer guidelines about backseat gaming, either outright blocking all forms of it or asking to keep it light or respectful. This can happen when I'm watching someone play a game I'm intimately familiar with or one that I'm new to. There's such a fine line between patronizing behavior that alters the trajectory of someone's discovering a game and learning its language and taking a subtle step toward helping them avoid frustration, which ultimately improves their time spent and overall experience. Truly great games will support a vast spectrum of interactions and find ways to communicate crucial information to you at various points along the journey, so that it becomes increasingly difficult to miss things. But I always hate to think about people abandoning certain games in frustration because something was missed for whatever reason. Does this have more to do with who it is you're watching and your relationship to them than whatever the game might be. Much love from your pal Joe Shabadoo on the day after Valentine's Day. I hope the various figurative fires around us have not grown in size. Nervous laughter. Well, no comment on that part, but this is a very sensitive subject, and I love this subject, and I've very much tried to change how I do this because I would say I was probably horrendous, and inside I still feel that pain, but outwardly I try to handle how I approach it completely differently. I try to be absolutely silent unless someone asks me.
This guy?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've changed.
It's been decades where I'd play something and I'd ask for help, and you'd say,
"You want me to tell you?"
And you'd say,
"You really want me to tell you?"
I had to play it through myself. You can do it.
You really want me to tell you? I'm sorry, I can't do
played
the
it-
highness.
I
but
didn't have anybody telling me how to do it.
You never
so,
told
like,
me a thing. Like
yeah.
I want to. I'm commending you. I think it's a good thing because
I'm just saying. I'm just commenting on the fact that you're saying that like you were horrible with.
Are you talking about with
talking
Mom
people
Brain?
through it.
Because like with us, you at least
We
it
haven't
seems
given-
like we're feeling like you've
I-
never.
We haven't even given him a chance to talk.
Just
so-
waiting.
I
Just
get
waiting.
the how do you think I did it? Nobody told me what to do.
That's what I got too in the past.
But I
My-
have to ask.
My question is,
Like he's not giving it up freely.
I'll let you talk, but my question is, like, I feel like it's a little different. If we're all playing through something together for the first time, I think I would instantaneously say something rather than let the experience play through. Like if we're playing through it together, or I'm watching somebody play it through it for the first time. If I've already played it, which isn't really ever the case, that I've played something and you guys haven't, I'd probably be a little quieter. But I'm laughing at myself because I think I'm probably more of a toxic person as far as like being like, no, get that. What are you doing? Go back. What are you but speak.
Thank you. Yes, there's a difference between me, like, I constantly have a feeling of like, jump on this, go to this door, look at that thing, all that. When someone asks me a question, I traditionally am very much like what you guys said. Yes. And I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to be now like, if someone is in front of me asking me, like, what do I do here? If they ask me, I will now try just outright tell them without all the rigmarole. But I wasn't always like that. So that's what I'm trying to be like now.
Oh, so you were
What you guys said, I would 100% agree
you're
with. Yeah.
trying to be a bossier person.
No, I'm
Not
trying.
bossy, but
I'm
like-
no, not. I'm
not
trying to be
bo-
the
I'm
opposite
kidding,
of
I'm
bossy.
kidding,
I'm
I'm kidding,
trying
I'm
to be welcoming. If someone
Right.
asks me, I should be like, I shouldn't put my experience first and make them have my experience. They're frustrated.
Well-
I should help them and just give them the answer.
I'm not really complaining about the way you were before. I just think it was funny that like the way you said it, and we automatically assumed, at least I did, that you were speaking from the same, the same experience that I would have of being like, no, do that. Don't go back.
Yeah, because I like.
But you never
if
did
I-
do that.
If I'm playing a game like, and I know the experience I have and how much I really enjoyed it, I really want people to have that experience too. And if I see them missing something, or if I see like someone doing something and they're like, what do I do here? In my head, I'm like, but if I tell them this, then they're not going to do this, that, or the other thing, or this won't hit the same way. So I'll be like, or I used to be like, I didn't have anyone to ask when I played it, so you should do it. And that's my way of saying I don't want to ruin it for you. But I am now thinking I have to stop doing that because I shouldn't try and dictate the experiences other people are having. If somebody's asking me, how do I do this? I should tell them. They want to know. I should tell them. But flip side, I don't want that. I get mad, like legit angry if somebody's telling me like, go do this, go do that, because I don't want to know that.
Kiss my
I've
butt. Go
gotten
to hell.
mad in
Oh no, that's not.
Nintendo press events where I've like gotten mad, where I've been like, they'll be like, if you go over here, when you were playing Echoes of Wisdom, like the one lady was saying stuff and I was like, let us figure it out. Like, come on, please. Like, geez,
Jeez.
how about you take the controller and I'll watch you play and then everybody will be happy. Like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. That's why I'm playing the game. Be like,
But
if I
then we
sat down to
played-
watch a movie and somebody would be like, and here they're going to walk through the door and then this thing's going to happen and then they're going to explode. And I'll be like, okay, great.
But then we all played Mario Party, and some people got the hang of it really fast, and I was just laughed at for not being like effective at all because no one was telling me what to do.
Yeah. But you won that one game.
I don't remember what game.
You won that whole thing.
I don't remember.
I do. But anyway, go.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I don't have a lot of experience watching people play. But when I did, I had a girlfriend who played, and I would, if she asked, I would tell her, and I would be happy that she asked because I wouldn't say anything, but I just like couldn't stand watching them play poorly. Like it's just so frustrating because I know that I would like have no problem with like this part or whatever, and
Yeah.
it's like you're playing one of my favorite games to please me, and I'm getting angry. Like I shouldn't be angry
You're not
about this.
playing it right.
Exactly. It's like, this isn't hard. What aren't you getting about this? But like, so like, I don't like watching someone play, watching them play poorly, and then watching them get like pissed off at the game.
That's the worst part. Yeah.
I hate that. But I'm not I like to think I'm not a backseat driver, especially in Fortnite.
I can't think of
I'm
one
always
example where you have ever been.
I'm always dead, and like every once in a while I want to be like, oh, there's something over here, and every once in a while I might be like, oh, there's a bat or something, but like I try to just shut up because like usually 30 seconds in I'll be watching somebody and I'll be like, why are they doing this? And then it's like, wait, I'm dead. I don't have an opinion, like I won't say it, but it's like, this isn't really my place.
I think that's natural.
I had my shot.
I think that's natural to watch other players and be like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? Because we all do things differently. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just like being the person that's like, don't go there, go do this, or go pick up that thing, or why are you doing it? Like, yeah, that like Lube is bad with backseat driving.
Lube's really bad with that.
He'll do it with everybody all the time, even after you tell him don't do it. So that's very frustrating to me. Yeah, and like with me, I'll watch people and I'll be like, what are they doing this for? But it doesn't matter. Like, I whatever.
I mean, for me, I guess the majority of the things that we would play together, I'd be watching somebody play. It would be like something that's a puzzle game. So I guess it would be like collaborative anyway.
Speaking of that, Pico Park 2 is out. Me, you, and Kirby have to play that.
Oh, I think I definitely bossed people around when we played that. Was a hard
you
game to-
did not boss me around. You and Kirby were at each other's throats many a time in that game. So that
lovingly, kissing, necking, maybe. No,
not unlovingly, but
hey Kirby, we speak your name.
there were times where I was like, I'm glad I'm just not part of this back and forth here. I'm just playing, but I mean, you're forced to work together in that game, so you got to.
Toxic.
Mom Brain, any thoughts on this?
I'm really comfortable with other people's struggles when it comes to that kind of stuff, because that's sort of what I do for a living, right? Like the learning is in the struggle.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't ever tell somebody, I don't think. I mean, first of all, it's not an area that I'm very confident in, so it's I wouldn't jump at telling somebody what to do. But I think I'd probably first be like, I think I saw something. Do you want me to tell you what I saw?
And think
or
about
like
how helpful I've been with you in Hello Kitty. You've been asking me all kinds of questions. I
you've
get
been
you the answer right away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Been my lookup guy. But I think that's the way to do it, right? Like you have to ask a person if they want your help.
Yes.
And then I think sometimes it's even, depending on who it is, you might even need to say like, well, to what extent do you want my help? Like, do you want me to just give you the answer, or do you want me to like
help?
Yeah.
Would you like my help?
There you go. Thank you, Joe Shabadoo. Great question. We could spend a whole podcast talking about that one. Patreon. Mom Brain, did you know you could join the GoNintendo Patreon?
For $1.
And for just $1, you can ask a question. Slider64 did, and they said, this weekend I am setting up a home version of the TV show Crime Scene Kitchen. Basically, my friends will have to guess what I made based on the clues I leave in my kitchen. If you had to do a home version of a TV show, what would you do?
like is something you wanted or something that would be conducive? Because like traders would be great.
The hell you mean? It's what do you want?
Well, like I thought that it was maybe like
you're doing it, so it would be fun. You would want it to be fun. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Mr. Belvedere. I want to.
Which
your
home?
house.
It says what home version of a TV show? It doesn't say game show. So Mr. Belvedere. Alf.
I want to
streaks on the China.
Yeah, and I want to
Never mattered
drop
before.
kick my jacket when I walk through the door.
Yeah. No one glared.
Without anyone glaring. That's what I want.
That's
yeah.
right.
I mean, I live alone, so
I was gonna say, who's glaring at you, Sally?
Yeah.
I automatically went to game shows, but if you had to do a home version of a TV show, I mean,
The
Or
real
the,
world.
or the Hogan family.
That'd be fun.
that's what you do. We
but,
live
like-
it every day.
Really?
Would you do Big Brother?
I don't know. I've never like watched
It's like
it.
the
really.
same thing as the real world,
What
except
happens-
there's
As
some
long as I don't have to go to
competition
work.
thrown
As
in
long
there.
as I don't have to go to
Oh my
work.
God! Then Big Brother is ready to go. Hi, Rosemary the farmer. Big Brother is no work. You sit in the house almost all the time, and then you go do a challenge every couple of days or
Can I
something.
go outside?
There's an outside in the house. There's like an open part of the house that is outside.
Okay, then
but
sure.
You're not.
Full of plastic flowers.
Probably.
I don't know. It might. I mean, I wouldn't know, but you would know. I would definitely not know. Yeah, I don't know what I'd want to do at home, but yes, traders would be fun. I would love to do Big Brother, which is what I play now anyway, and I would definitely win. So yeah, nothing's jumping to mind right away, but I'm only thinking in terms of game shows, not real shows. That would be
My sister had
Extra funny.
a Clue dinner party at my parents' house when we were in high school.
I had a murder mystery dinner.
You seem like the type of kid that would have a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Get all
Yeah,
dressed up and
be fun.
everything.
Yep, we did.
Yeah.
I got the pictures to prove it.
Yeah.
Do.
Was it fun?
I can't think of one, to be honest. I've been racking my brain this whole time.
Severance. And every room you walk into,
It came
you,
to my mind, like all the shows I'm watching. They came to my mind, and I was like, I don't know. Like I would say common side effects because there's like
I
a
just want to sit in a room and eat blue mushrooms.
well, there's
Yeah.
just the fact that the idea that everything could be cured by a magic mushroom would be really great. How great would
Yeah, I
it be
guess
to
if
not
you're
have
doing-
Alzheimer's or
I guess
cancer?
if you're doing an at-home version of that, it would just be like smoke some weed and that's it.
But yeah, I don't really have an answer for that one. I feel like the question had to have been game show, and maybe they
They said Crime Scene Kitchen, which is
Yeah.
a competition show, but there's a game aspect to it. Yeah, so I was thinking of more along the lines of games you would do at home. Traders would be a fantastic one as long as you got the right group of people, because you wouldn't want family or friends getting legit mad. But
I would, but then there's all those games deal with backstabbing, and I don't want to do that with friends.
they don't have to. Not at all. If you're faithful, you don't got to do any backstabbing.
Well, you guys played that other game too that was similar to that. That was it a card game or like the secret?
Yes, and I
Yeah,
I
hate
did
it.
not want to play that at all.
Right.
And we played it twice.
Oh,
And
Secret
I was
Tesla.
begging to get out of that. Secret Tesla. I was begging to get out of that game. Like after we finished it the second time, I was
Right.
like, I'm done. I cannot play this anymore.
I got you so good. It's
You
like the
got
only
me very
time I've
good.
ever
I feel
beaten
like I
you
have
ever.
a picture of you guys laughing
Well,
really hysterically.
I didn't play that.
It was Kirby. It was Double B.
I don't think I could play those
it
kinds of games.
was
It's also the same as
Dude,
Jackbox.
and it was
though.
myself.
So you kind of had experienced that with Jackbox too, right?
Yeah, but
Jackbox and
The Secret Hitler is yes. But it's like Secret Hitler takes it to a
Right.
much more real degree.
Yeah, you gotta like meet with your friends of 20 years and lie to their face, and then laugh when they believe you.
I don't like it
No, but like-
at all.
but like
at all.
Jackbox and stuff. It's kind of like Traders, or even Among Us is kind of a
Yeah.
similar thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. But that's
But those are again, it's a video game version of it. It's not like a real life.
like I would only do traders if I could be a faithful. If I had to be a trader, then I don't want to. That's not fun for me at all. And my sister is completely opposite. She doesn't want to be a faithful. She wants to be a trader. She would only do it if she was a trader. So
I'm gonna have a Mario
Takes
Party
different
game, Mario Party night at my house, guys. So everybody, just get on the floor. I'm gonna stomp on your heads.
wow.
I love you
Fair
guys, but I want you to. I want us to all enjoy it.
Understood.
I don't think we will. All right. Let's do music. Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com. Help out your local mom brain. Put music in the title.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
We got there.
Is that what I sound like?
What am I doing?
Get there.
We got their merch.
All right.
Mom brain
Here-
could whip something up in Canva.
I could.
Oh, wrong answer.
Here's what we've got. This one comes from our friend Sergio ALB64.
Dumpkin.
D.
Him's a dumpkin.
Spice.
I'm gonna guess it's Switch.
Yes.
Somewhat familiar, but I don't know why. Would I know this?
You don't know.
Disco Elysium.
No.
I don't know. I like it.
It's not Catherine, right? Full on. I don't remember. Katana Zero.
No.
What?
You.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's not No More Heroes 3.
It is Master Detective Archives Raincoat.
Oh, you know, we got the review code for that, and I really wanted to review that one, and I didn't have the time, so I gave it to somebody else, and now it comes back to bite me in the ass.
Here's one from Wired.
We're in for a rough one today.
Is this a visual novel?
This is familiar. I know this.
Echoes of Wisdom?
This is Switch.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, what is it?
Wait.
Okay. Is it No More Heroes?
No.
Is it Resident Evil? Umbrella Chronicles.
Mm-mm.
Is it Resident Evil at all?
Sometimes I get these. I think so. Sometimes I get them mixed up.
Well, here's a way to find out.
What's
Does it
the-
say Resident Evil in the title?
Well, I didn't put it in there. I think it is, but I want to make sure. No, it's
Well,
not.
So not a Resident
Silent
Evil?
Hill.
Yes.
That's why she got
Shattered
confused.
Memories?
It's
Yes.
gotta be.
Shattered memories. Man, this does not
Yes.
ring a bell at all.
Nothing ever does for me, really.
And it was from Wired.
That game was
Just wanna play
creepy.
that game.
Okay, this one's
I don't
from Spaniel 53.
This is first party if I've ever heard.
Mario
Sure is.
64 on the DS.
It's a Mario
It
game.
is Mario, and it is on the 64.
Oh.
Come on, you know. It's a Mario game and it's on a 64 and it's not Mario 64. Take a guess. Name a Mario franchise.
Paper Mario?
Not Paper Mario.
Mario Party?
Yes,
Hey.
but I don't know which one. One,
3.
two.
Yes, 3.
Play.
Wow.
Mario Party 3.
We got there.
And here's Mario.
Here's one from Steister.
Endless Ocean.
Yeah.
Wow. I know it's familiar. Is that
Gorgeous.
Celine Dion?
Good song.
Beautiful. I bet you when you're in an endless ocean, it's extra beautiful.
Well, when you're in an endless ocean, it just sounds like this.
I do that with Mom Brain all the time. Whale noises.
Yeah, it's like let me soothe you after like, and that's what, yeah. He gets like real close.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, I've heard that about. I think I've heard that about the loneliest, like that story about the loneliest whale in the past. But hearing it recently again, it like broke my heart.
Well, this one's from Blood Ocean.
Okay,
Is this like
so it's
Galaxy?
definitely first party.
Odyssey.
It's not.
Galaxy.
No. It's first party, right?
Kirby?
It is first party.
If it's this kind of orchestration, we're very limited.
Melee? I mean, or Smash Bros?
Not a bad guess. I'm gonna I'm gonna guess Mario Kart 8, but I don't know
Yeah.
what it is.
It's Booster Course Pass.
Haven't played it.
Wave 3
Okay,
job.
I'll take it.
from
Good stuff.
Blood Ocean. This one comes from Matthew.
Well, that's got to be Super Nintendo, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I will never guess the game, but I would stake my life on this being a sports game.
You're correct.
This has such a sports feel. Sports are cool.
Well, I'd believe it if all I had to go on was the music. I mean, this is amazing.
Right? I don't disagree. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll never guess.
Is it
I don't know.
ice hockey?
Pro Sport Hockey.
Wow. Holy crap. I mean, she gave you. I mean, you guessed hockey.
I
So.
guess hockey. Just one word out of
Holy crap. Wow.
I'll take it. You got us there. This one comes from Tony De La Mancha.
I just love.
My brain just wanted to get past it. Like we could have gone through some names.
Oh, I know this. This is this not Legend of the Mystical Ninja?
No.
It's not.
Goemon.
You do know this, I think.
I do know it.
But you don't.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you're not gonna like why you know it.
Oh no.
Am I right about that?
Oh, is it Undertale?
No, it's Pokemon.
It is
Black or white?
Black
It's gotta
and
be
white.
black
Why
or
do
white.
I know it?
on the DS.
You played black or white.
Man, great tune.
This one is from Jess I.
Boop, bop, beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. Bop, bop, beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 beep. Ooh, ee. Bop, 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 beep. Bop, 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 beep. Bop, 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 beep, beep, beep. La, da, da. This is Super Mario Land 2.
That's correct.
6 golden coins. Not the 6 golden coins.
Just six golden coins
Really?
on the Game Boy.
I went many years saying that incorrectly. And boy, was my face red when I found that out.
Here's one from Nico Darunia.
There's Mario, Super
back in
Mario,
the Mario
the 6
days, yeah.
golden coins.
So, I know Nintendo. I know enough to say this is Nintendo.
It's a
But
channel,
I don't
isn't it?
have any idea
not a
what it
channel.
is. Yeah, it's got to be something weird.
Yeah.
Too much weird Nintendo on Switch for me to guess. I'm guessing it's Switch.
Moving on, or whatever that game was.
Mm-mm.
Moving
Is it-
on. What's that?
Is it
Arms.
Moving out?
Moving-
3, 2, 1 switch.
what was the game? No, it wasn't moving. It was that was like a work thing, right?
Oh, good job.
Yeah. Or
Big job.
the stretcher man. What was it called?
Yes. That was a fun game. What was that
This
called?
is not that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never guess. It's one of those random Nintendo things.
I'll
It's-
never tell.
I won't
Was it
get
the jump rope thing?
Elebits. I don't know.
We're giving up. We're giving
It's
up.
Switch,
I
you
don't
said?
know.
It's on
Yeah,
Switch,
Switch.
and we know it's Nintendo. But it's some kind of little experiment or something.
Mario 128. Or what was it called?
So-
Mario 99?
Mario one. Oh, Tetris 99 is what you're thinking. of.
35.
Yeah, it's Super Mario Brothers 35.
Wow,
We got there.
there. Holy crap! Are you kidding me?
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
All right,
I was about 60 off, but I still
Wow.
made it.
one song left, and it's from Mikey33.
Mario 128 was the GameCube demo when they showed off the GameCube. That's what it was called.
That's why that was in my head.
You got Nintendo history in there.
Coursing through your veins.
Oh, I know that noise.
Is this the Great Mighty
confusing.
Pooh?
This is one of those.
It's rare.
No,
No?
I don't.
It's square.
No. It's either good Super Nintendo or very good N64.
It's N64.
So then it's whatever the Clay Fighter game is on 64.
With an appearance
63 and a third. Earthworm Jim?
by... Yeah.
We got
Go
there.
play the song
No,
again
No,
Play
we
the song
got
again.
there.
from the beginning.
So bad. So bad.
Just let it go.
No, not you two.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, let's drag this out, please.
That right there is a Clay Fighter instrument. I played a lot of Clay Fighter on the Super Nintendo.
All right.
That's all I got for. Well, that's it. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10. Wow.
6 out of 9.
6 out of 9. 6 out of 9. Good. And a real team effort today. I like it. I like it a lot. And unfortunately, that's the end of the show.
All right, everybody have a great week.
Well,
Be
see you
safe.
next time.
St. Patrick's Day for those. In
Oh,
America.
hold on. I think I hear something.
Oh my god. The spiders and the flies are jingle jangling into my ear. And you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? Deux Views. It's never news. Rumor of the week with Doom Michaels. So, ladies
of
and
a
gentlemen,
story.
as you might know,
There he is, Lappy Tappy.
we do I have my spiders and my flies go all over the video game realm, and they come back with the freshest rumors that you haven't heard yet, and and then I tell them to you. So it's all very exciting. It's maybe the best part of the show, and it's
Would be the best part if we had one that was actually true at some point.
well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm getting a note right now, actually, from Chief Spider and Constable Fly that
well, there's your picture.
that this we're doing something different this week. It's a true story, not
Oh
a rumor.
my
So what you're about to
God.
hear is absolutely true. Take it to the bank, and
Is it a rumor or a report?
it's usually it would be a rumor.
Usually it's a rumor, not today though.
But I guess today it would be a report.
Yeah.
So we're going to report on this, and it's very true. So listen up. I'm only going to say this once. So, ladies and gentlemen, you might have seen images of the Nintendo Switch 2 and how it's a little bit bigger than the original Switch. We can all agree with that, right?
True.
So when Miyamoto was asked, because he obviously designed Switch 2, when he was asked why did they go bigger, what could have inspired you, he said, "Oh, a little person named Reggie and his Bigfoot pizza inspired me."
Oh.
So basically, Reggie went in, upended the Pizza Hut tables, and
I guess he still worked there at the time.
created a big pizza. And
I'm retiring. But before I go, make this bigger. Okay, goodbye.
so
Good for Reggie.
so yeah, they, Miyamoto and the team over at Nintendo's kind of took inspiration from that, and they were like, you know what, we'll make the screen of the Switch 2 bigger, and we'll also stay late and order Pizza Hut, and they did that as well.
Pizza Hut in Japan is next level. They got some crazy stuff over there. Man.
Domino's as well, right?
Yep, they all are much better over there. Speaking of Domino's, first time stuffed crust.
I saw that. It looked terrible, but I still want to try it.
You gotta try it. You gotta try it. I don't like their commercial though.
I didn't.
Seen
Oh,
the
I
commercial.
see
Because the commercial is like a taste test, and they're like, try our new stuffed crust pizza and tell us how compared to the old one. And they're like, oh, it used to be this, that, or the other thing. And then Domino's is like, open up the box to see our other one. And that people open the box and it's empty. And they're like, what? And it's and Domino's goes, because we've never had a stuffed crust.
Oh,
You're
that's
thinking
lame.
of someone else. And I'm like, you mother effers.
I'm glad they didn't
Wow.
try to trash Pizza Hut by being like, oh, it tastes like.
Well, they did.
Well, maybe they're
That's what they're
trashing
doing.
Papa John.
Come on.
Yeah, but if they did a true taste test with pizza,
Oh,
like
yes,
people
yes,
would have
yes.
been like, well, obviously this one's better.
Yeah,
This is
right.
Pizza
You make
Hut.
a good point. They're like, we can't put it up against actual Pizza Hut, so let's do the memory of what people think Pizza Hut is.
Exactly.
That's a
Well,
great
I
point.
just want to say also thank you to the oh my gosh, spiders and the flies. This is the birds and the bees. For bringing us that news.
They're with Dark Gary. Birds and the bees are with Dark Gary.
Yeah.
I don't want to let that
You don't
slip
want to
away.
know what he's doing with them.
It's
Yes, thank you, dude.
and thank you for Reggie for the big switch.
My anus wedgie. They
Yeah.
never did have stuffed crust before. That's right.
There was a rumor that Charles Martinet was going to be in this rumor, but
There's a rumor
Turned out to be
of
a
the
rumor. That
turned
was
out to
false,
be
yeah.
a rumor. Yeah.
I have a feeling he'll be back, but I'm glad this week he wasn't.
Yep. There's about
For this
two-
true one. For this true one.
There's about one or two people that I just have news stories specifically for.
All right, everybody. That's all we got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
There you go. Yeah, that I do want to try that Domino's stuffed crust, but that commercial rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm still gonna try.
My
it.
problem
Still
is
gonna
I
try
didn't even see the commercial. I saw
Oh.
a guy on TikTok eating one in his car,
I've seen
and
many on
it
TikTok. yeah.
looked disgusting. And I look, I've eaten
It's
bad pizza,
disgusting.
and I will continue to eat bad pizza.
Mhm.
But it just looked so much worse than even their regular pizza. But there's cheese in the crust, so I can't turn that down.
Yeah, exactly. Mom Brain has seen the pickleballs, but has not tried them yet. No. Yes, they did have them at $5. Yes, I will at one point definitely try their stuffed crust. And I'm open to it being better than Pizza Hut, certainly. I've never had Papa John's stuffed crust. The last time I had Papa John's is the first and only time I had to violently shit myself in public, and it was at a Walmart. And it was like maybe 20 minutes after eating it. I don't know what happened, but I died. Part of me died in that pizza or in that Walmart bathroom that day, definitely. And then that Papa John's that we went to closed down like a couple months later. So coincidence?
I definitely don't think so.
I do love me the Noid. You know what? I need to look up the actual reviews of this Domino's stuffed crust. So see what people are really saying about it. But yeah, do you got anything else, or are we done here?
I mean, nothing that we haven't already talked about, I guess.
Go watch Invincible. Go watch Daredevil. Go watch Adolescence. Go watch
Common Side Effects.
Common Side Effects. Yeah, so
Go
much
watch
great TV right now.
Severance.
Go watch Severance. Go watch it all.
And I haven't started Reacher season 3 yet, but go watch
It's
Reacher.
their biggest premiere
Is it?
since Fallout, they said. Yes, season 3 in
Reacher.
particular. I know you joke about how much you like that show, but you are not alone. Millions are watching that show, and it's reviewed really well. I
love
am
it.
on the edge of watching it when things slow down. I have nothing against it at all.
I don't know. It's fun. It's
I got nothing wrong with
it's
a fun,
so
stupid
cheese.
show. Yeah,
it's
that's
so
fine.
cheese, but it's really great.
I don't need every show to be serious and levels deep. Look, I watched The Traitors and I watched Severance. I'm watching Survivor right now. Survivor, to be fair, is one of the deeper competition shows out there. But yeah, I'm down for dumb and stupid, and just it is what it is. I got no problem with that. As long as what it is enjoyable and done well, then I'm good with it. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest, relax. You deserve it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.